The 93X Half-Ass Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning.
Standard Heating is having their 94-year celebration. They have special offers just for you this February. Whether you need a new furnace or a tune-up, they have something special for everyone. Visit standardheating.com to save today.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93X.
What's Galentine's Day? Oh, it's only the best day of the year. Every February 13th, my lady friends and I leave our husbands and our boyfriends at home and we just come and kick it breakfast style. Ladies celebrating ladies. You know my code. Hose before bros. Uteruses before deuterus. Got it. Ovaries before brovaries.
Oh, Mardi Gras, you see a lot of boobies.
There was some girls up in a balcony. A chant goes up, show your tits. I join the chant because I support the cause. The girls show them, we throw up some beads. I figure that's the end of the transaction. Turns out they reciprocate with a chant of their own. We want. What do you do? Turns out I had some on me.
Okay, everybody, it's showtime.
Well, we're going wild in the studios. Going absolutely buck wild. Welcome to the damn 93X Half-Ass Morning Show. Is this day one of Mardi Gras, Cubby?
Today's Fat Tuesday. We already got a check-in from Heather the Tricycle Jesus listening on Bourbon Street right now. And he asked us to put a little stank on it for Mardi Gras. Just an appropriate amount of stank.
Why not us?
From Bourbon Street.
Right now he's out there. Earning his beads, no doubt.
FB running.
I've never been there myself, but I feel I know a lot about it from Girls Gone Wild videos over the years.
Videos or just the infomercials? Did you ever watch the actual videos?
Okay, you're right, I lied. The infomercials. I've never watched an actual Girls Gone Wild. But I've seen the varieties, with the normal dirtbags, and then you got your Snoop Dogg, who was a part of it, and seen a lot of those commercials.
Sure.
Boy, those were all over late-night television.
They were.
Girls Gone Wild ads.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I have experienced Mardi Gras for real skis down there on Bourbon Street three times. Madness.
Is it as I guess I also have a little experience from watching Cops, and and I'm sure they show the worst of the worst, right? Otherwise it wouldn't be interesting. Is it as packed and as lawless as they make it seem on Cops?
As a matter of fact, Josh, it is so packed you can't even notice the lawlessness.
Really? Is the pee smell overwhelming?
No.
Not bad?
The first time I went to New Orleans, yeah.
It was?
It's like the bathrooms at First Avenue.
Oh, boy.
The pee smell just whacks you right in the mug as soon as you set foot in New Orleans proper.
Boy,
but the last couple times I had gone there, it wasn't so bad.
Before First Avenue cleaned up those bathrooms and, redid them a little bit, those were something else. That was an adventure.
You could smell it from outside.
Oh, man. I hated going in there. Hated it.
I just want to go on record that doesn't bother me. But you do notice it. I've
heard that about New York. I've also never been there, but I have a lot of experience from watching 30 Rock and, some Howard Stern stuff.
You have a lot of secondhand experience.
That's all I need.
On these different cities.
I'm a simple man. I'll just watch TV. I'm good. I don't need to go.
The urine smell didn't entice you to want to go check it out for yourself firsthand?
New York?
Yeah.
No, not at all. I can smell urine at my house. All the neighborhood boys come to our house, and there's urine all over the place. Yeah. My wife hates it. She's miserable.
I've told you my Mardi Gras stories before, and it is madness. When you find yourself in the heart of Mardi Gras, and I don't even know. You'd think I would know these things, but I don't care enough to pay attention. My past experience, right about now, is a pretty damn good time to hit New Orleans for Mardi Gras because it's happening, but it's not full on yet. I don't think, when do they reach their peak? Early March is like the grand finale.
Something like that.
Somebody could text in. Again, I've been there 3 times. I never cared enough to pay attention. But right about now, a couple weeks into it, a couple weeks before it really takes off, I had a blast in New Orleans. When you go down there when it's at its peak, it really is a little more impossible than it is fun. It's just impossible to keep a beer in your hand because some jackwagon knocks you across the... it's impossible to get from bar to bar because there's just so many... more positive than negative memories of Mardi Gras. But again, I'll just tell you, if you haven't been and you take an interest, look at a calendar, find out when it begins and when it ends, and try to get there right around the middle.
That's when to go.
It's doable. You can get around. And it's still a hell of a good party.
Did you do like the king cake and the jambalaya and all that, and watch the parade and all that kind of stuff?
Everything. King cake. I mean, I'm aware of the king cake baby. What is?
Yeah, with the baby in the middle or whatever.
I don't think I experienced any of that until after. I don't think I experienced any of that. My first experience with the king cake baby gimmick was when the New Orleans Pelicans rolled out a king cake baby mascot for their basketball games.
I do remember that. That's funny.
And it's the most horrifying mascot that has ever lived, if you're not familiar.
Terrifying.
I love all that jambalaya and gumbo. Yeah, that was something that I anticipated greatly before I first went to Mardi Gras. Well, yeah, we hit all the parades. I mean, hell, I was on a float for a Mardi Gras parade when it was at its peak. On the night, again, I apologize to Mardi Gras enthusiasts. You know, there's terms for this, and there's certain dates but this was the peak of Mardi Gras, and I was invited to ride on a float and throw beads to the locals. Here I am from, Wayzata, Minnesota. Although I think this was like my third trip down there. So I knew a little bit about what to expect. A little bit about what to expect. I did not know what to expect when it came to being on that float at the peak of Mardi Gras with the beads. It was one of the most fearful times of my life. Absolutely fearful.
Because of how serious people take it?
Well, number one, you're well aware of the fact that if the crowd wanted just to collapse upon you and kill you, they could easily do it.
Yeah.
And what you said, Josh, I didn't know how serious that beads gimmick was. You better, when you round the corner into this neighborhood, you better at least throw some of the really good beads to those people. If you just throw them the garbage beads, they'll throw them right back at your face.
Oh, no.
Right back at your face as hard as they can, along with maybe a beer bottle or a beer can.
Do you remember, I'll show you a beer can. Do you remember, don't the different colors mean different things? Or am I mistaken?
Don't remember anything about that. But, when I got on the float, the locals knew that I was from out of town, and they said, okay, here are the garbage beads, here are the great ones. These are the ones that everybody wants. Why they all wanted them, I don't know. It's not all about boobs. It's mostly about boobs. But they said, here are the garbage ones, here are the great ones. Don't waste too many of the great, don't waste too many of the great ones on this crowd because we got to go here, 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 and here. There's a word I'm looking for.
So
ration the beads.
Yeah, be careful how many you throw.
But I didn't realize just how serious they took it until there were certain neighborhoods where they were pretty furious if I didn't throw the right thing at the right time. I couldn't wait to get off the damn float. By the time it was over, I couldn't wait to get off of it.
So with the group you went down with, were there any girls that maybe participated in the bead tradition that surprised you? You were married at the time, so maybe your mother-in-law, maybe someone else.
No. The women who got their boobs out for beads did not surprise me.
Yeah, so you knew they were the ones. I've been at concerts where I was surprised at someone I was with who went for it. I never would have thought that they'd go along just flashing, whoever the band, or when people would start chanting it.
But I think my last trip down there, I went with a co-worker's. I didn't go with her. We met up when we were down there. We met up with a co-worker's wife, and she pulled them out for beads.
How was that?
Well, I think I told this story actually not that long ago. She said to me, "Okay, I'm hauling them out for beads. Don't look."
Did you look?
But I looked.
Well, you're a human being. I think guy, girl, Ashley, you'd probably still look, right?
Oh, 100%.
Thanks to my ex-in-laws, I mean, we had the rock star treatment down there for Mardi Gras. We stayed right on Bourbon Street. We went to all the big parties. Like I said, I got to ride on a friggin' float at the peak of Mardi Gras, as much as I later regretted it. We had a blast down there. So again, if you're thinking about it, don't go down there when it's at its peak. Go down a little. I told Ashley before, every single day there was a dog parade.
I would love to go down and experience Mardi Gras, but
we would hang out at this bar during the day and get all full of beer, and we knew that every day at 4, all we had to do was step out onto the sidewalk and we could watch a dog parade.
Oh, that'd be so
cool. And the dog
cool.
parade lasted like 6.5 hours. It was a great city. I love it.
A buddy of mine, his wife doesn't seem like the type that would flash. And I guess she did once, like they were out on a boat, she flashed or whatever, and he missed it. And he's like, what the hell? Since when do you do this? And how come I didn't get a chance to? Why didn't you alert me this was going to happen? Yeah. You never do that for me.
So today is Fat Tuesday. Okay. Whatever that means. Also, as you played for us in your show intro, it's Galentine's Day.
Today's Galentine's Day.
Where the women might get together and
they hang out and just bond
and bitch about either their current boyfriend or their lack of a boyfriend or husband, right?
Right.
They scheme, they plan against us.
Did it start on Parks and Rec, or was it just popularized on Parks and Rec?
It started on Parks and Rec.
Oh, I would say it was popularized because I knew like Galentine's Day was a thing before I ever watched that show.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I had no idea.
Yeah, I was wondering which way it went. That was pretty funny.
The day before Valentine's Day. I can already sense some of you suckers are tightening up already. Oh, you better say and do all the right things on Valentine's Day, right?
Well, okay, I've been married long enough where I know my wife's being honest, but I was nervous the first few years where she's like, don't get me anything. You know, she does consider it a Hallmark holiday. By the way, I bought a card for my oldest's birthday. His birthday was on Saturday, and I bought him a card, and I needed a prescription, getting over the flu. The card was more expensive than the prescription. It's out of control what they charge.
They get pretty expensive.
And it's my fault for not looking. I didn't look at the price. I assumed it's a card. How expensive can it be?
The cost of a birthday card?
The birthday card was like $13. Yeah. And I had no idea.
I would have assumed $2.
That's what I thought.
You got to go to Dollar Tree.
Yeah, you're right.
That's the move.
Well, but you can tell that the card is from Dollar Tree.
I love the card. The card was great. It was the Office themed card. It played, like a bunch of clips from the show.
Oh, cool.
It was a cool card, but $13, man.
Yeah, well, when you get the ones that make noise, you're setting yourself up for failure.
One of my best buddies hangs out at Dollar Tree, and whenever he goes there, he gets me a box of Fiddle Faddles. But
I've been at Fiddle Faddle. All of our plates and bowls and silverwares from Dollar Tree. I don't think you'd ever know.
No. They have really nice dishes there, actually. I always go there for their dishes.
You're under pressure come Valentine's Day, some of yous, and you know it.
So, Ashley, I thought you said before your boyfriend better step up.
I love Valentine's Day, and I kind of warned him when we started talking and stuff like that. I love it as a holiday, not so much because boyfriends or men. My mom, when I was a kid, always made sure that I had like a Valentine's basket every Valentine's Day. So I've always liked. It's just like I love and all that, but we have a rule on Valentine's Day. We don't do anything expensive. Just
because you don't have any money.
Meaningful. No, no. Just because it's more fun to have something meaningful.
Yes, meaningful.
Oh well.
I'm very big on like the definitely a card. I love cards.
You do? I mean, don't you just look at it and then immediately recycle it?
No, I save all my cards.
Because for me, as I'm reading it, I'm moving my hands towards the recycling bin.
Right, yeah.
I actually just reread the card he gave me for my birthday yesterday, or the day before. Yeah.
So you hold on to them?
Mm-hmm.
My girlfriend just said write on a piece of paper and have that be the card.
Yeah, you could make her a homemade card like you did when you're in elementary school.
So here's the deal. Today's the day before Valentine's Day. Okay, fine. Fat Tuesday, Galentine's Day. We covered that. Mistress Day. Some folks call today Mistress Day. I hadn't heard of that until last night.
Oh, because, you got to be with your mistress.
Mm-hmm. Someone
But
gave
not
me a
on
heads
actual
up.
Valentine's Day.
Yep.
Someone gave me a heads up on this last night. So tonight you go out with the side piece.
Smart.
Tomorrow you go out with the significant. That's hot stuff right there. That's living. I learned about it last night.
Yeah, there's a whole thing on Urban Dictionary about Mistress Day.
Mistress Day?
And, is this what Urban Dictionary tells you, Cubby? Because this is what I found last night.
I'll have to pull it up.
Where was I going with this? Mistress Day, the term was founded, whatever the word is I'm looking for. It was first used, Mistress Day, in the restaurant industry. Restaurant workers noticed in some situations they'd see, for example, a dude bring a blonde out to the restaurant on the day before Valentine's Day, and then the following night on Valentine's Day proper, he'd be there with a brunette.
What an idiot.
So why is he an idiot?
Who would go to the same place?
Yeah, you can't take the mistress to the main spot.
I agree. You
it's so dumb.
got to have a mistress spot and a wife spot or your regular girlfriend
You
spot.
can't take the mistress
Or
to the
you
main
just
hang.
gotta be that damn good.
Well, obviously they figured it out, so you're not that good.
There was a
Right.
time when I was a server, I felt so bad. This guy came in, he came in twice. And the first time he was with a different girl than he brought along the second time. And I didn't really notice until I made it incredibly awkward when I was like, nice to see you. Same thing as last time. And the girls, same beer. And the look on the girl's face told me that he was not supposed to be there with another girl a couple days before that. I felt awful.
Yeah, that's the other thing. You risk, somebody giving it away, right? If you have the same server or something like that, they might inadvertently. Like, who were you here with yesterday? Was that your sister or something like that?
Like the hostess.
Yeah.
Notice that.
It's
Good to see you again.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a night for the side piece tonight.
So Mistress Day on Urban Dictionary says basically Mistress Day gifts are typically jewelry and lingerie, while Valentine's are chocolate and teddy bears.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That is hot stuff.
Dana, you recently engaged. What are you going to get your mistress today?
Oh, gosh, I'm all out of money.
I'll tell you, you gotta know what you're doing. You gotta have balls. You gotta be able to keep your stories straight. It's a lot of work. The side piece lifestyle, a lot of work. A lot of more mental work than anything.
On Mistress Day, they released a study about the biggest cities where people are unfaithful to their significant others, and Minneapolis makes the list at number 7.
I'm proud of us.
Yeah, no kidding.
Pittsburgh, Buffalo, St. Paul at number 8. Minneapolis, Cincinnati, Tampa, Las Vegas, Atlanta, Orlando, and number 1, Miami. That's where you're going to get cheated on.
Yeah, Miami.
We're finally recognized for something cool. I'll tell you a great cheating story from the neighborhood bar. This was just so perfect. One night, me and the Big Al ducked into this joint in our neighborhood, and not many people there. It wasn't Galentine's Day or Mistress Day or what are we missing, Fat Tuesday or anything like that. Just your typical night. And there was really nobody there. Me and Big Al on one side of the bar, and on the other side of the bar, there was a couple. And I think there was a bartender, and unfortunately for the DJ, there was a DJ, and he was cranking the tunes, and I think it was one of these situations where they were hoping it would draw a crowd, and it didn't. But he still is obligated to blast, CNC Music Factory on or whatever. It was early 90s, is that so? Whitney Houston and Vanilla Ice. He's cranking the tune, even though there's only 4 of us in the bar, right? So Al and I look across the bar, and again, there's a couple sitting there, and it's quite obvious that the gentleman is manipulating the lady underneath the bar. Quite obvious.
Don't do that.
Yuck.
His arms going up, down, and her eyes are kind of rolling, and then she's kind of, gently bucking.
Oh, my God.
Right. And it's just hilarious. They're both terribly drunk. And Al and I are just having a riot watching this happen across the bar. He's really doing that. So at one point, the poor DJ, like I mentioned, is over there, playing the tunes. He put on a long song, and he comes kind of wandering around. You can tell he's miserable. And we kind of felt bad for the guy. So hey, come on over. We'll buy you a drink. We're talking with the DJ. And we said to the DJ, are you noticing this across the bar? Where dude is obviously rounding third base on this lady right here and he says, oh yeah, she's in here all the time. And we said, oh, you got to tell us more about this. And he said, this gal is married and she comes in here with a different dude all the damn time. And they do something along the lines of what they're doing now. Wow. Not just with this dude you're seeing tonight. I've seen her with 4 or 5 guys doing the same thing. They're playing with each other underneath the damn bar. And she's married. She never brings her husband in here and does that. She's always bringing side dudes in here. And now we're just dying. Me and Al, we're just loving this. This is a great story. And here we are. We got front row tickets for this nightmare. And the DJ says, as a matter of fact, you want to see something funny? And we said, sure. And he said, keep an eye on her. The DJ knows her. She's in there all the time. And let's say her name is
Missy?
Missy. Pissy Missy, we're going to call her. Let's say her name is Pissy Missy. DJ says, watch this. He goes back up into his little DJ booth. And, of course, he's, even though there's only 4 of us in the bar, he's still got to do his gimmick. So when the song wraps up, he goes, all right, everybody at Frank's Bar and Grill, thanks for coming out tonight. And we got a few more tunes here for you. And don't forget 2-for-1s. And tomorrow night, we got the UFC fight here. And he's doing his house DJ gimmick. And then he says, oh, and Pissy Missy, you have a phone call. It's your husband. He's joking, of course, but as soon as he said, Pissy Missy, you have a phone call, it's your husband, and Al and I are watching Pissy Missy the whole time. She just froze.
I bet. Yeah,
froze.
Man.
And kind of pushes her side man away a little bit and buttons up her pants. It was just a riot.
Today is also Palentine's Day.
Oh, my God.
Platonic friends. Thursday would be... what's that called? Single Awareness Day. There's a whole week. International Quirky Alone Day is tomorrow. Sunday, we get Satisfied Staying Single Day.
We got a lot to cover here before the week is out.
Yeah, I can't afford all these holidays coming.
Make sure you write those down. We can talk about...
Now, Big Daddy Love Bucket Jesus, he texted a couple weeks ago, and he said, bigamy is having one spouse too many. Monogamy is the same thing. I thought that would go over a lot bigger than it did.
I'm not that great with big words. Oh, man. Yeah, Pissy Missy, she just locked up.
That's gross.
DJ played it off well, too, because we continued to watch, and we saw her walk over, to take her phone call from her husband. And then the DJ, he picks up the phone, and you can see the DJ's going, well, he was there a minute ago. I don't know what happened. Hello? He must have disconnected. So then they were out of there pretty quickly, Pissy Missy and her Wednesday night side piece. Oh, my God.
Surge Babe Jesus said the mistress better not be getting the effing jewelry. She wants the jewelry. The mistress can get the chocolate and the teddy bear.
Yeah, she wants the fancy stuff.
Oh, man. A lot of work. A lot of work if you want to.
Oh, yeah. I mean, aside from I find it to be wrong, I could never handle that.
I find it to be wrong.
Well, that's you go do what you want to do. For me personally, I don't think that's right.
Josh is going through the logistics in his head of trying to work it out to make it all happen.
I can barely handle one. How do you handle 2 relations and then trying to hide them from each other?
Especially the ones where they have like a whole separate family, and they were able to work both of them at the same time. That's just insane to me. Like 2 separate wife and kids.
Oh, I've told you guys before. I mean, it depends on your job,
That's
right?
a whole different animal. You're talking about dudes who marry multiple wives and have multiple families? Mm-hmm. Oh, God.
Without the other ones finding out about each other?
That's a whole new level.
You see, bigamy is having one spouse too many. Yeah, I actually dated, I told you guys this before. I dated a girl who found out when she was, I don't know, teens for sure, maybe a little older, that she had an entire second family. Her dad was a pilot, and he wasn't based out of Minnesota. I mean, he lived here with her, and her mom part-time. Mm-hmm. So I forget where his base was, but that's where he had. And she wasn't sure when her dad got married. Because the kids were about the same age as her.
Oh, so he didn't know.
That's
she didn't know who was first.
So yeah, she never found out.
She doesn't know if she's the second family.
Right. She doesn't know if he got together with her mom first or second.
I think I'd want to be the second family.
That's going to take some therapy.
You'd want to be the second family?
Yeah, because the first one wasn't good enough, so we had to go get a second one.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Was it me?
Yeah, exactly.
Like Nick's story, yes, it was you guys.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Ashley. Maybe I'd want to be the second family too.
Yeah.
Great theory.
So because it could be the situation where, let's say she's the first family, this ex-girlfriend of mine, and he gets somebody pregnant and decides, I'm going to do the quote-unquote right thing and marry family number 2. I don't know. I'd be interested to know which way that went. Yeah. I looked at him a lot different after that.
That'll change things.
I don't know. That to me, if you want multiple significant others, you got your side piece, your second side piece, you got your regular wife or girlfriend or boyfriend or whatever, boyfriend, husband. That's one thing. To create separate families, I mean, that's insanity is what that is.
Mm-hmm. I have trouble remembering milestone events in my own family, much less trying to add some extra birthdays on in a place. And who can afford that, by the way?
Yeah. Then 2 Christmases, all that. Oh,
man.
Does the word infidelity still count before you're married? Or is infidelity just a label for marriage?
Meaning like if you cheat on a girlfriend?
Yes.
Yeah, that'd be infidelity, I believe.
Is it? Okay. Well,
at least I've heard it used that
then
way.
I'll go along with it.
It's whether you're unfaithful to a spouse or a other sexual partner.
Yeah, someone you're supposed to be committed to.
Fair enough. Then I can continue on. I was just checking to make sure that I used this sentence properly. I have had some adventures with infidelity. And I mentioned that it can be a lot of mental work to try to remember this and that and who's who and your stories. Did I tell you this story already? Kind of a thing. Because, after a while, you don't even know who the hell you're dealing with. It's physically spending as well, because you end up having sex more than you even thought possible. But anyway, where I'm going with all this is I didn't find it to be too much mental work because I was always honest with the side lady. I am in a relationship.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
I didn't portray myself as single. I am in a relationship. If you want to have a little side fun, I'm your man, right?
Were you ever worried that they would go a little crazy and decide, I don't want to be the side one anymore, and maybe, out you to your significant other?
I was too dumb and selfish to ever be worried.
Oh, really?
Yes. So I can't tell you any stories of when I was busted in a lie or anything like that. Not with the side lady, because I was always up front with them. The one story, and maybe you had to be there, but the one story I can tell you is I remember I had a girlfriend, but I also had this other lady cooking on the side, and I was with the side lady. And my God, it was just a wonderful time. A wonderful time in my life. And me and the side lady had just wrapped up a sexual encounter. And we're lying there, and my side lady says to me, so are you still having regular sex with your girlfriend? And I said, well, yeah.
Don't ask me that.
Wait a minute, now hang on, Ashley. Why do you say that? Don't ask me that?
Sounds like a setup.
No.
Yeah, no, it's not regular. It's really weird and kind of exotic. That's the type of sex we're having.
I'm going to ask you to explain yourself in a minute. But anyway, so again, the side lady says, are you still having regular sex with your girlfriend? And I said, yes. And the side lady paused for quite a stretch of time, and then she simply said, Gross.
Did you ever have a 2-a-day?
Oh, yes.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. I was the
You must have been a young man.
Oh, yeah. I just cracking off all over town. I was a 2-a-day. I was a Hennepin County 2-a-day champion there between the years 2003 and 2011.
2-a-day.
Why do you, one more time. So the lady asked me, my side lady asked me, are you still having sex with your girlfriend? And you said, don't ask me that. It sounds like a setup. What do you mean by that?
Sounds like she's, if you say yes, she's going to be angry.
Oh.
Like, I thought, she wasn't doing her job, so that's why you came to me, kind of thing.
I never had those kinds of problems.
Doing her job.
Yeah.
Honey, I noticed you haven't been doing your job lately, which is to satisfy me sexually.
Did not mean it like that. Whoops.
I know you did.
But I couldn't help but laugh when the side lady says, gross.
That is pretty funny. This is a great text because I think just like this person. 2 families. How do you do your taxes?
That's exactly
really
something
good
you would consider,
point.
Josh.
I don't know how. I don't know how you do it. I have too much Catholic guilt, and I've mentioned this before, but I kind of cheated on a girlfriend. I mean, like nothing even physical. It was an emotional thing, and I did want to be with this other person. And to this day, I feel sick to my stomach about it.
Are you
terrible.
not? You are just the most innocent peckerhead that has ever lived.
I'd rather. I mean, I know some people like the excitement of it, or there's some reason they want to keep both. But for me, I'd much rather just be like, even if I have to call, I'm about to cheat on you, so I think we should break up. Yeah. Like, I've already unzipped.
Yeah, my fly is halfway down.
Yeah, let's just break this thing off here. I don't want to cheat on you.
My God, does your wife ever stop to think what she has?
I doubt it. I mean, she had another dream that I cheated on her the other day, and I can't figure this out, right?
Stop this.
But so I had asked her. It was very insulting. And I was like, how'd she look? I mean...
Wait a minute. You're saying for the second time in your marriage, your wife dreamed that you cheated on her, and again, she sort of...
She wasn't mad this time.
Was aggravated by this?
No. She was... It bothered her enough that she brought it up, but she wasn't... And last time she even admitted, this is unreasonable, but I'm furious at... And it lasted like a day and a half. She was mad at me. And again, I cheated on her in her dream.
In her dream.
I didn't even have the dream I cheated.
Right.
That was her dream.
So this time around, what happened?
This was a couple weeks back, and she said, I had a dream that you cheated on me last night. And so I was just kind of ribbing her about it. I'm like, oh, well, how'd she look? And she's like, oh, she was actually unattractive. And I'm like, well, what the hell? Like,
heck yeah.
So I was asking specific traits about her body. Like, well, how was this? How did that look? And it was nothing that I'd be excited about. So
you should have lied and said, hey, that's exactly what I'm looking for. Well,
did she somehow give you her number? Tell me about this.
She's a smart lady, your wife. She must have along the way throughout these years stopped and said, my God, I have the most innocent and trustworthy man on planet F me running Earth.
Yeah,
or
seriously.
any other planet.
I wonder if I ever said, you know what? I'm unsatisfied for this reason or that reason. I'm tempted to cheat on you. I wonder if she'd just laugh in my face.
Like, good luck, buddy.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's what she'd think, too. Oh, you think you can land someone? Give it a shot. Why don't you try that out?
That she would be kidding herself with that second answer. If she said, oh, you have no chance. Yes, you do. You friggin' do.
There was, I'd had one dream that she cheated on me. Now, I didn't hold it against her. I don't do that, and the guy was absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, I bet he was.
Man. Let me tell you about his penis. Whoa, it was a specimen.
Yeah, good size.
Complete opposite of Josh on everything.
Oh, let's just say, right.
Like nice hair.
Beautiful hair. Super hot black guy. I mean, everything she's into. I was like, man, I can't compete with that. I want to sleep with them.
Yeah, you're jealous.
Yeah, you go for it.
You're
Josh
the greatest.
had a wet dream.
Oh, yuck. What? Yes, I did.
Somebody just said wet dream.
Do you remember when you first heard those were called nocturnal emissions? I think I used that term constantly in 6th grade.
I'd never heard that before.
Me either.
Oh, when you guys were taught sex ed, you didn't. That's what they told us they were called, nocturnal emissions.
Oh no, I think they just called them wet dreams.
Did they really?
Yeah, I think they called them wet dreams.
They didn't use that in Catholic school.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't remember ever even learning about that. I was much older, and I did not learn that in school.
I am familiar with both terms, Cubby.
Yeah.
All right, let's get her going here. It's what is it? Tuesday or Wednesday? I can't remember.
Tuesday.
Something like that.
Tuesday morning, close enough. You're a great crowd. We'll call our side action. Get it lined up for tonight. We'll be right back on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
Standard Heating is having their 94-year celebration. They have special offers just for you this February. Whether you need a new furnace or a tune-up, they have something special for everyone. Visit standardheating.com to save today.
On the Bigger Pockets Real Estate Podcast, co-hosts David Green and Rob Abasolo interview real estate investors and entrepreneurs about successes, failures, and hard-earned lessons. Joined by author Dave Meyer,
who wrote a book. I did write a book. It seems like you're coming out with a book every 4 minutes. You are one to talk. You've released 2 books this year. I've done half as many as you. It is more about strategy than it is about just finding whatever the new buzzword happens to be.
Bigger Pockets Real Estate Podcast on YouTube or wherever you listen.
Stupid news on the Half-Assed Morning Show.
There we go, you goofy bastards. This one here, perfect for a late-night talk show's opening monologue, I think. For starters here in the stupid news, for starters, we have a pastor who puts the meth in Methodist. He puts the meth in Methodist. Now here's Paul Schaefer in the world's most dangerous band.
I miss Paul Schaefer.
Me too.
Never liked the guy.
Are you serious? You didn't like the banter between him and Dave?
All right. I can't fool you. I loved Paul Schaefer.
Oh, I was going to say, I was disappointed.
Yeah, that kind of made me sad.
No. I was on the ground floor for the Letterman show. My sister and I were his #1 fans right from the get-go back in 1982. Of course I loved Paul Schaefer. Here's the deal. Huh?
Have you guys seen Randy Jackson lately?
Yeah.
Who the hell is Randy Jackson?
He was on, what was it, American
Bass
Idol?
player from Journey.
Oh, the guy who was in Journey?
Yeah.
He was in Journey, too.
And what was the show called?
American Idol.
Never saw it!
So, he lost a lot of weight.
Yeah, he's real thin, dog.
And he's got a lot of Botox and stuff in his face.
I can never tell that kind of stuff, dog.
He almost looks like a puppet now.
He looks like a puppet?
Yeah, he looks like a puppet.
I guess I can tell if somebody's had I shouldn't say. A lot of times it seems obvious if somebody's had plastic
surgery. I'm thinking of.
Yeah, Botox. I've never been able to tell.
Me neither.
Dog.
Yeah, like his jaw lines are so defined now. It's insane. He looks like a puppet.
Yeah, I know Randy Jackson from when he was playing with Journey. I never watched that stupid Idol show. So Randy Jackson toured with Journey, too, on the Raised on Radio tour, 1986. My buddy Todd went to the Raised on Radio. Todd went, he went to the show when it came to town. Raised on Radio. Was that 86, Josh?
I think so.
Girl can't help it. She needs love.
If you played a drinking game,
I'll be all right without you.
If you played a drinking game, every time Randy Jackson said dog, you'd be dead.
Oh, yeah.
You would die.
Yep.
He made sure to make that into every sentence he spoke.
It's like a buddy of mine who learned ass clown. And he would sprinkle in ass clown in every sentence. It was overwhelming. And finally we had to say it. Did you just learn this term? Are you being paid to say it? Why are you saying ass clown all the time? You're the ass clown, we might have said. We didn't say that because it's kind of mean, but we could have said that. Dog.
Anybody who likes music, specifically live music, should listen to Journey from the Raised on Radio tour when they played I'll Be All Right Without You live. Simply beautiful, perfect in every way. All right, back to this pastor who they say, again, puts the meth in Methodist. By the way, did you know this here? Hundreds of years ago, Methodists were named for the methodical way in which they carried out their Christian faith.
It's pretty interesting.
So it has nothing to do with meth rocks. But here's the deal. A 63-year-old Methodist pastor in Connecticut named Reverend Herbert Miller. He was arrested on Friday after police found meth in his motor vehicle. And he also had a suspended registration to add on to the trouble he was already in, according to the state police. Members of the community alerted them of a suspicious incident involving Reverend Miller. It's unclear what that was, but that's how the cops zeroed in on him and figured, let's keep an eye on this Reverend Herbert. So they, at one point or another, they pulled him over. He had meth in both rock and liquefied forms, and there was also a needle prepared for injection inside his car. God dang. He was the pastor at a joint called Woodbury United Methodist Church, but they've removed him from the website, and I'm guessing from real life as well. That's the end of Reverend Herbert. So long, sucker.
We had a priest that a lot of us were pretty sure was on something. He just kind of he was tweaky. He was very tweaky. And it was not always, but at times he was just, it seemed like he was jittery, nervous, sweaty. So we thought maybe he was dipping into something. I don't know if it was the church wine or what it was.
Yeah. we had a teacher that was really jittery, kind of skittish, and his nose was always red.
Yeah, maybe a heavy drinker.
Yeah.
We had a teacher that got fired for playing pocket pool.
Oh,
yeah,
that ain't right.
Right in the middle of history class.
We had a math.
Here we go. We had a
math teacher that liked to put his nuts on top of your desk.
No, he did not.
Like
he teabagged your desk?
Yeah, like he would stand there and he would kind of rock back and forth, and then he would kind of put them up there.
No, so you said like to. Is it just kind of an accident?
It must have been, but everyone noticed it. Because he especially if you needed help with something, he would really lean over there and then kind of get him on top. It was weird.
Guy's got big nuts. He needs to set them somewhere.
Yeah, I guess
maybe that's
so.
it. Yeah, he has trouble carrying them around.
Dragging them right down to the ground. Unbelievable. All right. Oh, God. Well, Josh, when you have a priest all sweaty and jittery and acting as if he's on dope, it must have picked up the excitement of church on a Sunday morning,
right?
Yeah,
in case he said something wild.
Just went off script a little bit.
That was my biggest problem with church when we were kids, is my God, it was boring. I could barely stay. Even as a kid, I just would immediately doze off. So boring, the stories.
I like the boring ones. Like if you go to
you like the boring ones?
I don't know. Like I've gone to more modern ones where, there's a rock concert ahead of it and stuff like that. And, obviously, and they do a very good job of tying in some of these stories to modern day stuff, right? The homilies are often great. They do a great job writing. I don't think priests and pastors and stuff get enough credit for that. They do a great job with that. But yeah, I kind of went, I like the scary ones a little better. Maybe that's just how I grew up, or it's kind of more Game of Thrones. I'm scared I'm going to get in trouble. It's more boring, that kind of thing. For whatever reason, I'm more comfortable in that situation.
Scary stories in church. I bet you I tuned into the scary stories, but I got in trouble when I was like 5. I was sitting in church with my family, and the priest said, Jesus, and I said, oh, here we go again. Get over it, I said.
Oh, boy, does he sound great with all the stories you tell about.
Here we go again, I said. No, I didn't really say that. I didn't say. How about a good old-fashioned mystery for you? Let's see if we can figure this one out. We're up against it right away simply because this mystery comes from over there in England. I have a difficult time understanding what makes them tick in the first place. So here's the deal. An artist over there in the United Kingdom, England, whatever you want to call it, got a box of clay penises sent over to him in the mail. And He doesn't know why, although he should have had a decent idea why, and we'll get to that. There were 6 clay penises in the box for him. Someone mailed it to his apartment.
I'm assuming you saw these.
Yeah.
Didn't it look more like poop to you?
It looked like gray poop.
Yeah, that's what it looked like to me. When I saw them, they were in the box still, and there's hay all around them for whatever reason. But yeah, it looked like poop.
Some see penis, some see poop when you look at the picture. The artist over there goes by the name of Dale Wells. He's 44 artsy-fartsy years old at this point in his life. Now, here's the deal. This Wells fella, he used to have a statue on display in town, a statue of a naked dude. And the penis on that naked dude statue was constantly being snapped off by funny people in the neighborhood, right? 7 times to be exact, somebody pulled the penis smooth off his naked dude statue. So the person who mailed him 6 clay dongs seems to think that they are the naked dude statue's missing penises. But these penises are made of clay. And Dale, the artist, apparently didn't make his naked dude statue with clay. He used something else. I don't know what. You see what I mean by when the guy said, I have no idea why someone would send me. What do you mean you have no idea? You had a naked dude statue and the pecker kept getting cracked off.
Yeah, that's even I could do that math.
Mm-hmm.
If you were, you see those statues from back in the day, how upset would you be? The recreations of the genitalia, they're always tiny, those penises.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can embellish.
Yeah.
I'd be okay, like caricaturize that.
Uh-huh.
Make that thing just ridiculous.
Just cartoony.
Pardon the pun. Yeah, that's what you want down there.
They probably make them small to keep people from tearing at it. You know what I mean?
It could be. I don't know.
I don't know. I know nothing about art, creating a naked dude statue, nothing. But, so this is the mystery, I guess. Who sent the penises to the artist guy? He doesn't know who sent them. Why does the sender think that these are the peckers that got cracked off his naked dude statue? Another question that entered my mind, is the artist dude just days away from being violently attacked by a crazy person? I think that the odds are pretty good. When an anonymous person starts sending you clay penises in the mail, I'm changing the locks on my doors.
Yep. Last time I asked you this, you hadn't yet, but have you used your Clone a Willy penis cast?
I let it expire.
Oh, okay. Just after a while, it's not good.
Oh, bummer.
If you're not familiar with Clone a Willy, you put some product over your penis and you cast a representation of your penis, and then you give it to your most trusted friend, and they can use it however they want.
Yeah, I was all ready to go one night with a boner, and I looked at the packaging and it had expired, so I didn't want to put I was afraid of the stuff in the first place.
I'd be a little nervous too.
That's a good call, Nick.
But when it passed its whatever goop they had inside the package that I'm supposed to spread all over my Johnson, when I saw that the expiration date had come and gone, I said, maybe I don't want to smear this on my nuts.
Can I tell you guys something about Nick?
Yeah.
He required 2 of them to make 1 cast. Were you aware of that?
I did say you ought to double this up if you want to make room for Daddy.
Waffle, you got one. Did you use yours? I forget.
No, I didn't get one.
Oh, I thought you did. I thought you bought one. Didn't you bought it for Nick?
Yeah, I got Nick one, and then I got him the fleshlight, and then I also got a fleshlight.
Oh, I thought you did the Clone a Willy as well.
That's where you get confused, Cubby. Wapple went to the sex shop once. He bought me Clone a Willy, but he bought both of us fleshlights.
Ah, okay.
Didn't you throw your fleshlight away, Wapple?
Yes, I did.
I did too.
It's in a landfill somewhere.
Oh, gross. It's got Wapple wiener on it.
Let's go dig it up.
Someone could have it.
After a while, they lose their
charm?
No. More specifically, it kind of jellifies.
Ooh. Oh, really?
Yuck, what?
Really?
That silicone it isn't meant to last forever, I don't think.
I just kind of felt stupid.
How long? So, yeah, did you catch a glimpse of yourself or something?
And I'm like, it looks like I'm effing a flashlight.
Well, you kind of are.
Yep.
You were.
I always felt brilliant. I thought, this is the smartest thing I've done all day.
I cheated the system.
When you were reading the directions to Clone a Willy, back to that, Nick, how long did it say you got to keep yourself in that position?
It's been so long, I can't remember. I think it was a couple hours, but I can't remember.
Oh, man.
That's
Look it up
insane,
on the
too.
internet. I thought it was a couple hours you had to try to sit still.
Yeah, let's
cumulatively, I don't think I've had a couple hours of wood since I've been born.
Yeah, you'd have to take something.
Someone's got to help you.
I'll help you if you need the help.
I'm looking at cloneofwilly.com. They have a 30-day return policy. That's pretty nice.
But just really honestly, I'm not trying to be funny. That fleshlight, for the first dozen runs at it, it's all right. And then one day I kind of touched it, and I thought, ew, it's kind of getting...
What was the insert you had? I thought there was a celebrity insert.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, who's that girl that likes it in the...
Sasha Grey?
Take it easy over there, Wobble.
Yeah.
Was it Sasha Grey?
No, mine was Sacha Baron Cohen.
Oh, very nice.
And the guy from Grey's Anatomy. That's where you got confused. The guy from Grey's Anatomy. I don't remember who it was. But
I think it was Sasha Grey.
Okay, it just kind of wore out. And that's not I was hammering on it. Like, do you follow what I'm saying? Even if it sat there unused, it just kind of lost its resiliency.
Did you ever use the cleaning products that came with it?
No, I'm not a
it comes with cleaning products?
Yeah, it comes with a powder you put on the powder. You're supposed to do that every 2 weeks.
You take the hose to it.
Oh, so for the grand finale, I mean, where?
You just kind of wash it out.
Oh, so really?
Yeah.
It kind of captures it.
Aren't you worried you're going to get it pregnant?
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about our fleshlights anymore.
Me either.
So a clone of Willy, you only need your wiener in there for 60 seconds.
Oh, that's it?
It says here, it says here in the frequently asked questions, one of the most common difficulties some men face is staying hard for the 60 seconds required to keep your penis erect while submersed in the molding mixture.
60 seconds? That
Just look at some boobs.
That can't be right. That can't be right.
It works that fast?
I mean, it's right on their website.
Maybe I had an older version. At any rate.
Yeah, it says it'll feel spongy, flexible, and that's when you can easily remove it.
There's some penis experts in our listening audience, like your mom, Dana. A few people are saying the reason old statues are packing extra small pickles, it was more desirable, and it accentuated your physique more, which was more important than the big, gross wieners.
Yeah, they do look chiseled.
Yeah, the old statues from way back in the Roman times and all that. A tiny little tic-tac was desirable back in those days.
Let's bring that back.
And so were big women.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, let's bring both of those things back. I want to eat whatever I want again.
This guy we're talking about, he's not from Roman times. He's from 2024 in England, but he still builds naked dude statues and gives them a pretty small little package. I don't know what's going on anymore.
Runs in the dark Jesus on the topic of fleshlights. He's a fellow fleshlight enthusiast, he says. Hopefully I'm pronouncing this person's last name correctly. Adriana Chechik. There's front and back door attachments, and he says glorious product. Glorious.
Yeah.
Are you guys familiar with that lady?
Sure.
No,
yeah,
I'm not
I've heard
actually.
the name. I've heard the name many times.
Very pretty.
Just be prepared for it. It's not going to last forever. Even if it just sits there, it's not going to last forever. It turns into jelly. I wonder if we have any melon farmers in our listening audience. They could help us out with this here next story. I got a melon farming question for you melon farmers. Do you dress up your watermelons in women's underwears? There are some pictures that go along with this story that some of you might want to get a look at. A melon farmer tossed some pictures up there on that godless social media where they've put ladies' drawers on their watermelons as they grow outside.
I grew a watermelon once, and I did not put women's underwear on it.
How did it go?
It went really well, actually. I heard it was pretty lucky because it was my first time.
Did it get giant?
It was probably
basketball size.
Yeah, basketball size. Yeah.
Not bad.
Apparently, the ladies' panties allow the fruit to breathe. If you get lacy women's underwears, it allows the fruit to breathe as they grow, if that makes any sense to you. Oh, wait a minute. I see where they're going with this. They hang the melons up off the ground with the panties. Mm-hmm. And that helps eliminate the risk of the melon rotting on the ground, Ski.
If you do look at the photos, which I think you posted the other day, Ashley, on 93x.com, be prepared to have some confused feelings. I can tell you at least I did. And I really hope I'm not alone.
That makes sense because sometimes when my tomatoes go to the ground, they get rotten.
Well, you got to get some tomato panties.
Yeah.
Social media dorks had jokes for the general public once they saw the pictures of watermelons wearing thong underwears. One person joked, even the watermelons are sexier than me.
I doubt that.
My dad had a trick when we were kids. Did any of you see this? In the wintertime, when the snow and ice would pack up on the roof of the house, he would take ice melt, salt balls, and put them in women's pantyhose and throw them up on the roof of the house.
We used to do that too, yep.
Pantyhose. So in the spring, when the snow had cleared, you'd see 3-4 pair of women's pantyhose up on the roof of the house. It looked like we had a party.
Are pantyhose still popular?
I have a couple pairs still. Yeah, I like them.
Like on a dressy occasion or something?
Yeah, only in the winter, usually.
Oh, I got bad news for you now. We move on to some bad news concerning the monkey gangs are back, and they're more bloodthirsty than ever.
Oh, yay.
You remember the deadly monkey gangs?
I love the monkey gangs.
They're back. They're running buck-ass wild in a town called Lopburi, which is over there in Thailand. Okay, so here's the latest. An army of sex-crazed macaw monkeys have cut loose on the city, and some say the annual monkey buffet could be to blame for their behavior. You might be thinking that the monkey buffet means that locals are eating monkey carcass. They're not. I'll explain that in a minute. But back to the breaking news. Locals are being run out of town by the monkeys. Sugary drinks and snacks have made the monkeys more hypersexual. Sugary snacks and whatnot have made the monkeys more hypersexual and prone to aggressive behavior. They have almost total control of the streets. Business owners have shut the doors. Right now in Lopburi, Thailand. That's the scene. So, you should know this. The locals over there started the Monkey Buffet Festival back in 1989. Tourists would come from miles around to watch the monkeys run roughshod. The reason they call it the Monkey Buffet is they lay fruits and sugary snacks and hooch out on the streets so they could watch the monkeys rip around and eat and get drunk and fold each other in half. It was apparently a lot of laughs back years ago, but now the monkeys have figured this bit out, and they don't want to be a comedy act for humans anymore. They want to whoop ass and turn tables on us.
And you also hear how they just carry so much STD running around.
Yeah.
They do. Locals say the monkey violence really kicked in when COVID hit town. Everyone was locked up in their houses, and the monkeys didn't care about the COVID. They wanted to know why nobody laid out food and booze for them during the monkey festival, and it pissed them off.
Understandable.
You do not want a pissed off monkey gang.
Since then, all they want to do is tear fat arteries out of the thighs of human beings and watch them bleed out. These days, the monkeys will even break into a car when nobody's looking. They haven't figured out how to drive yet. For now, they just steal whatever's inside the car, then they cut a turd, and they laugh hysterically.
Oh, they'll figure it out, I bet.
Earlier this month, 3,500 monkeys attacked the city all at once.
Oh, my God. Can you even imagine?
You're just leaving the grocery store.
Those who have stayed in town, most folks have left town. The ones who have stayed have been forced to barricade themselves inside their homes. One local said, "We live in a cage and the monkeys live outside." Now, I don't like to travel, but part of me says that I need to see this in person.
I can see the appeal. But yeah, I mean, remember not too long ago we were talking about these friggin' monkeys are stealing babies and throwing them off roofs and stuff. It's horrible.
They'll pick up, see, Ashley's over here. Yay, haha, the monkey gang. You got to remember, Ashley. They'll pick up your dog and tear its head off and then run back into the woods with it.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Yeah.
I don't like that part.
They do not want our dogs anywhere near them. They'll pull the eyeballs out of our dogs.
Did you guys see Faces of Death, the monkey brain scene?
Sure.
No. Or Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom? That disturbed me.
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Monkey brains.
I remember Faces of Death.
I was way too young when I saw that.
Do we have time for this Valentine's Day gangbang, Josh?
Yeah, we should do that. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we could.
We should have a gangbang on Valentine's Day.
Why not?
Now or tomorrow?
I say we do it now.
Dana says now.
All right, we're going to dive into a full-on Valentine's Day goat rodeo here. It's tomorrow. Here's all the cute gimmicks going on all over the damn place. Feel free to pick a favorite. At an animal shelter in Pennsylvania, if you give them $5 in trade, they'll write the name of your ex-lover on a pee pad. You see how that works?
Oh, I like this.
At the Bronx Zoo, you can name a hissing cockroach. Oh, so this is one where it's got a nicey nice vibe to it. The rest of this is kind of all revengey. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's one more that's got a nice vibe, but this one certainly does. At the Bronx Zoo, you can name a hissing cockroach after your Valentine. They say, name a roach for your Valentine because roaches are forever. They're going the other way at the San Antonio Zoo. They want you to name a roach or a rat or a vegetable. Name it after an ex-lover, and then they'll feed it to a zoo animal.
Love that bit.
You can also buy a candle that smells like hippopotamus turds. So you can send it to someone you love. They say poop is the cologne of the hippopotamus world and is used to impress potential mates.
Isn't it hippos where they can like poop at you from a great distance?
I think so.
I don't know.
Yeah,
what?
where they use that as a weapon.
Yeah.
They weaponize their turds.
Good for them.
Yeah,
Yep.
they can launch it.
They can shoot it straight across a 4-lane highway. I got plenty more if you're looking to get even with someone who dumped you. All for a $50 donation. An animal shelter in New Jersey will name a feral cat after your ex. And then the cat will get spayed or neutered before being released back into the wild. So the slogan over there is, quote, because some things shouldn't breed. Now we're in friggin' Rhode Island, which has me aggravated for some reason. The Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. They will take your ex's name and write it on a paper heart and then put it in a cat's litter box. They call it the Love Stinks fundraiser. Everyone's mad at their exes. What does this say? I must have misprinted here. There's someone who will take love letters from an ex. Oh, there's a company out there. Got it. For whatever reason, I deleted the word company. There's a company out there. They'll take old love letters from an ex, turn them into toilet paper that you can wipe your dirty bottom with.
Ashley, you said you keep cards and stuff. Do you have love letters from ex-boyfriends or anything?
No, I don't.
Nothing like that?
No, I get rid of that stuff once me and my exes break up.
This company's called Who Gives a Crap. They take your old love letters, turn them into toilet paper, and they're calling this their Flush Your Ex program. Some of you I'm sure are wondering, well, what the hell is Pizza Hut doing for effing Valentine's Day? They're on the list here. First off, did you know there's something out there called Red Tuesday? So that's today, where a lot of people break up right before Valentine's Day. Red Tuesday, that's awesomely cold-blooded.
The day before? Oh.
I hadn't heard that, but today we were covering all kinds of wacky holidays earlier, right around this week. No one brought up Red Tuesday.
No, I hadn't heard that one before.
So, Pizza Hut has a limited edition deal where you can order a goodbye pie, where you dump someone flat on their ass, but the sorry bastard gets a pizza to ease the pain.
Oh, that's
that would
nice.
make it a little bit better. Yeah.
Definitely take the sting off.
You skip the breakup conversation, you just send them a breakup pizza.
What if they made it in the shape of a heart, but you only got half of it?
It says here, as part of the deal, Pizza Hut will help you gas your significant other by delivering a personalized message with the pie. I'm telling you what, if I'm Pizza Hut, I want no part of this deal. There are way too many mental cases out there who might think to take their anger out on Pizza Hut.
Yup.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not messing with people's relationships, but Pizza Hut's got bigger balls than me, I guess.
Poor delivery driver might get shanked or something by some jilted lover at the front door.
Nobody wants that. Pizza Hut ain't the only ones willing to be part of a breakup. A cookie company called Insomnia Cookies has a custom box of cookies that they'll send to someone to tell them that your relationship is all done.
Those are so good.
She will go through a lot of those cookies.
It's called the It's Not Me, It's You pack. You pick a message for your significant other to find inside the cookie box. Options for the message include, It's not me, it's you. You're sweet, but not my taste. Have the hots for your roommate.
Oh, wow.
What? Or the message can say, We're done, have a nice life. Insomnia Cookies says, warm cookies are better than a cold heart.
I don't want to do something like this for my boyfriend just to mess with him.
And one more for
What
you.
if he's like, oh, thank God. I wanted to end it. I didn't know how. I'm glad you feel the same way.
One more for you. A scrapyard out there in England will let you write your ex's name on the car before they crush it into dust. They call it the Scrap Your Ex for Valentine's Day deal.
That one's cool.
Man, a lot of options.
Yeah.
For people who can't let it go.
Or you hear about like some divorce attorneys to give you a discount around this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
I'm glad we got through it, Cubby.
Sports on the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Today's Fat Tuesday, everybody. You guys party?
I went and got a mammogram, and the nurse threw me beads.
You know what I call an afternoon where I'm getting drunk?
Mardi Gras.
The first Mardi Gras celebration was held in New Orleans 192 years ago, and the streets were full of drunk men yelling, "Show us your ankles!"
It's crazy in New Orleans. You've seen it. Everybody's drunk. Women are flashing their boobs. Drunk. Boob flashing. It's like the whole city's turned into Charlie Sheen's house. Bam. That's the greatest name for a city, the Big Easy. Not to be confused with the Little Easy Snooki.
Come on, everybody. Fat Tuesday, Mardi Gras, that whole mess is going on. We were talking about it a little earlier. I've been down there a few times for Mardi Gras. It's crazy. Sometimes it's a little too much. Here's something I forgot to share with you. You know who bought me a Miller Lite at Mardi Gras down in New Orleans? Oh, let's go ahead and say 20 years ago.
Who dat?
Josh, probably be the only person out of the five of us, well, the four of you, that'll recognize the name. Tom Wopat.
Really?
That's right.
Dude.
Tom Wopat. Tell him from what television show?
Dukes of Hazzard.
From Dukes of Hazzard.
Luke Duke. You know, he's a beautiful singer. Have you heard him sing?
I have not.
Yeah, he sings like on, maybe not Broadway, but, you know, the equivalent, right? He goes around and sings. He's got a lovely voice.
I walked into a bar, and some people that I knew from down in that New Orleans, Mississippi area were all having beers with Tom Wopat.
That's cool.
And I walked up, I said, "What's going on?" And the guys that I knew said, "Hey, this is Tom Wopat." And I said, "I know who the hell you are." And he said, "Can I buy you a beer?"
Oh, that's awesome.
And I said, "Tom Wopat can buy me a damn beer any day." And then I punched him in the mouth as hard as I could.
Yeah.
Oh, knocked him right on his ass. I said, "Bring on Uncle Jesse. I don't care." I turned the tables on him. He didn't see it coming at all. I knocked him out. None of that happened. But he did buy me a Miller Lite, and we had a good time.
Looks like them Duke boys got into it this time.
Mm-hmm. Hey, we got nothing but winners. Everyone's a winner. Wolves won last night in Los Angeles against the Clippers. The Pigs won over the defending champions there in Las Vegas. They beat the Golden Knights. We can get into all the details on this nonsense coming up in a half hour when Randy Shaver shows up, and I think we're also expecting to see Jungle Jane.
Yes, finally. It's been a while.
We're going to talk all about her trip to the Super Bowl. Josh's News is coming up next.
Half-Assed Morning Show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
Standard Heating is having their 94-year celebration. They have special offers just for you this February. Whether you need a new furnace or a tune-up, they have something special for everyone. Visit standardheating.com to save today.
What companies deserve your hard-earned dollar? Which would you want to work for? How can you know if they share your values? Just ask us. Just Capital is a nonprofit that tracks who really means business in supporting workers, customers, communities, the environment, and shareholders. We measure progress, track success, and help them be better. When you see the Just Capital seal, you know what's real, because just business is better business. Visit justcapital.com to learn who makes your dollar count.
Half-assed morning show. 93X.
The odor alone would be certainly enough to investigate it further, but, people can use marijuana now.
A Minnesota mayor and his son were arrested for growing about 240 marijuana plants, well in excess of the state's 8-plant limit for personal cultivation. Investigators said they received an anonymous tip of someone using greenhouses to grow a large amount of cannabis, but the 67-year-old and his 46-year-old son allegedly moved plants out of the address before the Minnesota Department of Agriculture performed an inspection last year. In January of this year, however, law enforcement got another anonymous tip that father and son were growing weed at the property. Authorities claimed to smell unburnt marijuana from the street. They said it was overwhelming. During their search, court documents allege the plants were labeled with known cannabis seeds and flower products such as Frosty Kong, Lady Kush, Sour Pop, Cap'n Kush, Lep Gold, and more.
If I have any say in it, these potheads do hard time.
You're over it?
I am.
You're tired of it?
Oh, God.
Yeah, the mayor and his son. Yeah. Scandalous.
It's nice father-son bonding, though.
It is nice. I wish I had more time with my sons. Maybe I'll avoid this activity, but yeah, it is nice. You're right that they got to spend some time together. Family business.
Mm-hmm.
This one's weird and very sad and really gross. Passengers were left horrified after a 63-year-old man died in the middle of a flight after coughing up what they described as liters of blood, leaving the aircraft walls spattered with the blood as other passengers watched in horror.
Good Lord.
That's a horror movie.
Yeah, it's like Outbreak 2 or something.
Yeah.
God, was that the movie? Right when you started explaining what happened, it reminded me of a scene from a movie. Maybe it was Outbreak. I'll keep thinking about it. That sounds absolutely horrifying.
If you were on that plane, wouldn't you assume I'm dead?
Yeah.
And I'm going to die the same way?
I'm going to catch what he's got.
The man and his wife boarded their flight from Bangkok to Munich, Germany, when he became visibly ill before his condition rapidly deteriorated.
That's horrible.
The man's wife reportedly said her husband boarded the flight with cold sweats and was breathing much too quickly. And apparently she thought maybe it was because they were forced to run to catch the plane. Passenger Martin Misfielder and his wife Karen, who's a nursing specialist, alerted a flight attendant that the man needed to be checked by a doctor. They noticed something was wrong. The pilot proceeded to call for a doctor over the intercom, and a medic took the 63-year-old's pulse and deemed he was okay. The man was given some tea, but at that point, he was already spitting blood into a bag his wife was holding for him.
God dang.
As the plane took off, the man's condition worsened, and gushes of blood began spraying out of his nose and mouth, covering the walls of the aircraft like a demon possession. It was absolute horror. Everyone was screaming, one of the passengers said, adding that the man lost liters of blood. Staff had tried to give the man CPR for about 30 minutes, but it was clear he couldn't be saved. Passengers said the captain announced over the intercom that there had been a death on board and the flight returned to Bangkok. The airline said in a statement, "Our thoughts are with the relatives of the deceased passenger. Please understand we generally cannot provide any further details in the event of medical emergencies for reasons of privacy."
So no one really knows what happened with the guy?
Not yet, at least not that I've seen.
By the way, I remembered the movie. The movie was, I'm Quentin Tarantino, and I made a really long movie about people in a cabin way back in the old days, and it closes out with Samuel L. Jackson forcing a man to perform oral sex on him in the snow. What was that movie called?
Yes.
Huh?
The Hateful Eight.
The Hateful Eight, when Kurt Russell eats that bad bowl of soup and he starts spraying puke. Oh, no.
Oh, that's such a great movie.
Well, it was one of those movies where nothing happened until the very end, if I remember correctly.
I liked it.
And then everything happened. A U.S. Customs and Border Protection dog sniffed out something unusual in luggage from a traveler returning from Africa. Mummified monkeys. Which, by the way, Wapple, that's a punk band you and I should start.
Dude. I'd go see that show.
The passenger returning from a visit to the Dominican Republic of Congo reported the luggage contained dried fish, but an inspection at Boston Logan revealed dead and dehydrated bodies of 4 monkeys. Rare or minimally processed meat from wild animals, sometimes referred to as bush meat, is banned in the U.S. because of the threat of disease. The potential dangers posed by bringing bush meat into the U.S. are real. Bush meat can carry germs that can cause illness, including the Ebola virus, said a spokesperson for Customs and Border Protection. That incident happened last month, but was made public on Friday.
Bush meat.
Yeah.
I'll show you some real bush meat.
Oh.
A 20-year-old college student was injured by an errant bullet fired from the apartment next door into her bedroom last week. Daria Tolokonnikova, who lived with her grandmother in downtown San Diego, was on her bed studying just before 9 p.m. Tuesday when, without warning, she was knocked out of bed and collapsed on the floor, bleeding from the back of her head.
I started blacking out. Everything was immediately blacked out. I fall down in the ground a second or two.
The round ripped through the drywall between the neighboring apartment and embedded in the wall opposite, police said. Remarkably, the bullet had only grazed the woman's scalp, which only required stitches, but the incident left her too scared to sleep in her own room.
I'm just very scared to go to my room, and when I hear some noises, I get terrified.
According to a police report, the 9mm bullet was allegedly fired by a 22-year-old man who was arrested on suspicion of negligently discharging a firearm. The police report said the man was practicing his gun handling skills when the gun went off.
Nice job, Ace.
Not enough practice. I was being stupid and put my finger in the trigger and played stupid games. I was aiming at the wall, the suspect said. He's expected to face a judge later this month.
Doc Hollywood's rolling over in his friggin' grave.
A Texas man's been sentenced for the murder of a 21-year-old woman he fatally shot because she beat him at a game of basketball.
Why did you do it? Why did you kill her? Why? Say something. You're a monster.
32-year-old Cameron Hogg was arrested October 2022 after police found the victim with multiple gunshot wounds on a South Dallas sidewalk. Authorities said the attack went down after the woman beat him in a game of pickup basketball. After a heated exchange, he reportedly left the park and took his kids home, only to return minutes later to confront her. It was at that time he fired 4 shots at the victim before fleeing the scene. He was arrested later that month and charged with murder, fleeing police officers, and driving while intoxicated.
That sounds like a real nice person right there.
He couldn't handle being beaten basketball by a woman.
Every day in prison, he should be forced to wear a shirt that says, "This guy sucks at basketball."
Yeah. A young Canadian driver who had just earned his license lost it for 30 days after he was clocked going 80 and a 30. Police posted the exchange between an officer and the driver on social media Friday when he was pulled over. In it, the driver told police he had gotten his license just 10 minutes earlier. "I have no excuses," the driver told the officer. "I have a feeling you've learned, and I have a feeling I'm not going to see you in this capacity ever again," the officer says. "I hope we never meet again," replied the new driver. The car was impounded, the driver got a ticket, and his dad was furious. His dad had to show up at the scene. A Good Samaritan who stopped to see if the drivers involved in a freeway crash were okay last week was rewarded for his kind deed Wednesday when a New Jersey motorist allegedly stole his car.
Oh.
A Ram pickup truck, was traveling in the right shoulder lane of I-95 in Newark, Delaware, on Wednesday morning when it was rear-ended by a red Toyota RAV4. A concerned passerby stopped to check on the drivers for injuries, police said. When the passerby was doing that, the driver of the RAV4, a 54-year-old man, hopped into the Good Samaritan's Mercury Mountaineer and fled southbound on the highway.
Pulled up on a car accident. Just wanted to stop and make sure everybody was okay. Yeah, he just walked straight to my car, said something like, "Man, please don't do this to me." But he just got in the driver's seat and took off.
The New Jersey man who stole the car was located in Maryland and taken into custody.
Sucks.
That'll teach you. Just trying to do the right thing. The city of Minneapolis says 2023 was the most challenging year when it comes to wire thefts. The city paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to replace streetlights after the copper wiring was stolen. Now thieves have another target. They're cutting cables at electric vehicle charging stations, a trend that's being seen across Minneapolis and St. Paul. Some locations have been targeted more than once, making it a costly crime. And Minneapolis's Public Works Department says there's not much copper inside the charging cables for thieves to steal since the cable has other materials and insulation, so it's not even worth the effort. But it's expensive to replace. In a recent Facebook post from the Minneapolis police, authorities said a pound of copper is only worth a couple of bucks. Meanwhile, the cost to replace the charging cable and damage cost the city thousands. In Minneapolis, the city has replaced at least 44 charging cables and still had a list of more than 20 to go as of last week.
There are also other challenges as far as getting materials in a timely manner, weather conditions and things like that. So it's not always possible to replace these cables within the same week that they are stolen.
St. Paul's also seeing cord cutting at EV charging stations.
It's so frustrating.
I know.
Do something with your life.
The streetlight thing was so bad of them taking the copper wiring from those that for the medallion hunt for the St. Paul Winter Carnival this year, they even referenced. I know. They even referenced that, that it would be at a park where the wires were stripped out of. It's like, come on.
And in Florida, the Cape Coral Police Department's looking for a man and woman who shoplifted from a Lowe's while wearing matching Cookie Monster pajamas. Be on the lookout. It sometimes seems scammers are everywhere these days, trying to trick people out of their money or personal information. The latest example is from the city of Chaska, where residents are being called by someone claiming to be a Chaska police officer. It's about the third time we've talked about this year. Like several other departments the last few months, now Chaska police warned a scammer calls and claims to be an officer, accuses the person of missing court dates, and requests personal information over the phone to, quote, clear the situation up. This is a scam, the department posted. This is not standard practice for our department, they said. And it's not even the first time Chaska police have warned residents about scammers. At the height of the pandemic in 2020, crooks were targeting seniors and trying to trick them into sharing credit card information to pay for a COVID-19 test. Other communities have dealt with phone scammers as well. Last year in Burnsville, police reported someone was calling residents using the name of an actual sergeant in the department. The scammer would tell the person they missed a court appearance, that police had confidential information on them, and to make good, that person needed to pay fines and fees using prepaid gift cards.
Yeah.
2 police officers working the case of a missing British woman were caught lounging on her couch and watching Netflix.
Taking a break.
Yeah. Surveillance footage shows the Greater Manchester cops enjoying some downtime in Abigail Lawton's home. One of the officers was even seen using her dumbbells to get in some reps while his partner seemingly scrolled on his phone.
1001. 1002.
The 2 officers were called to the 21-year-old's home January 3rd after concerns were raised about her welfare. A spokesperson for the department said the cops were ordered to remain on the property in case she returned, while other officers conducted a wider search for the missing woman. She was found and said she was alerted to movement in her home on the security app and could see 2 men watching TV and using her personal property after they arrived at 10 p.m. They hung out until about 1:30 a.m., Lawton said, more than 2 hours before other officers found her. A spokesperson for the department said while it was understandable that publication of the images without explanation could undermine public trust and confidence, the 2 officers didn't breach any law enforcement standards, they said. They remained at the location primarily to safeguard the female should she return to the home address. The force's professional standards branch, however, said the pair should reflect on and learn from the complaint. Lawton, for herself, was booked for wasting police time.
Some folks get a little too comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, they're hanging out there for hours. I guess I wouldn't be too pissed. I understand that it might seem a little weird, but they're just sitting there. Police in England thought they were responding to a hotel because a man was carrying a large knife, but it turned out to be a Harry Potter fan carrying a wand.
Oh, little dork. I love it.
The incident was recounted on a police Facebook page Sunday with the post reading, "No harm was caused to anyone by the wand," and they joked there was no sign of Voldemort.
Do you have one of those, Josh? You have a Harry Potter wand?
I'm not really into Harry Potter. Seems like something I would be, but for whatever reason, I never got into it.
I've always wanted one of those personalized wands. You can get your name engraved on it and stuff.
Mm-hmm. You get a personalized one?
Yeah. Get in line for that, Smashley. Because that sounds incredible.
Love will be in the air at the downtown St. Paul courthouse tomorrow when Ramsey County will join other counties and perform free weddings for the first time. 8 Ramsey County judges will be available to tie the knot for up to 32 couples free of charge over the noon hour tomorrow. Hennepin and St. Louis counties have married couples on Valentine's Day in the past and will do so again this year.
That is just so stinking cute. I can't stand it.
Hey, how about a free wedding?
Yeah, why not? Save some money.
The 6th season premiere of FBI on CBS, followed by the 3rd season premiere of FBI International, followed by the 5th season premiere of FBI Most Wanted this evening. Then on NBC, the series finale of La Brea.
If I could only find an FBI-related show on television.
Right, CBS. That's where you need to go.
Man.
There's so many of those multiple shows based on NCIS, all the Chicago ones.
Can't get enough.
If you're into it, I'd imagine that's awesome. Randy Moss, 47 today. Singing, acting, intimidating. Henry Rollins, 63.
Henry Rollins.
Peter Gabriel, 74.
Oh, you want to talk intimidating.
Smoke Wrench Jesus sent in a shout-out to his boiler building bros. It's his last day for the 3rd time, and he wanted to thank his co-workers for keeping the job worth doing. He said the 3rd time will be a charm.
Yeah.
He's not coming back.
Yep. Where the hell's he going?
Oh, he's got something else going on.
Something else going?
New gig. Big Daddy Love Buckets Jesus says happy 20th anniversary to his wife, G. Bunny Jesus. And he mentions there'll be a hot time in the old town tonight, he says.
That's gross.
Happy belated birthday to Wasika Office Chair Joe, who turned 23 yesterday from Folgers Can Jesus. Happy birthday to Thomas, turning the big 05 today from Dad, Bison Meat Jesus. And happy birthday to you, always tired Southern Minnesota welder Jesus. And that's 93X News.
KARE 11's Randy Shaver.
Got a fat ass and a bad attitude.
On the Half-Assed Morning Show.
I was going to say a pretty good option they're choosing.
You would imagine so at 86%.
Wow.
Okay. So, the sound effects tell the story here in Lincoln.
We got a flight to catch. This is bull. This is not Big Ten protocol. They play music while you do free throws.
A lot of hubbub involved in that piece of audio right there. Let me see if I can find this again. Well, first, let's welcome our guests. Randy Shaver, by God, how are you?
Good.
Morning.
Good to hear.
Morning, man.
And we've been waiting on this.
And Ashley.
Good morning. And I guess you could throw Wapple and Dana.
We've been waiting on this, too. You want the inside scoop on what all the big shots were up to during the Super Bowl in Las Vegas? We got our inside source here in studio, Janel Klein.
Yes.
I love that you put my name in any sentence with Big Shot. That might be the first of all time.
You hang with all of them.
Janel was in Las Vegas for the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
She knows
the stories she could tell.
There were couples that broke up. There were...
Yes.
How are the Kardashians, the Wahlbergs?
You and Jackson Mahomes getting turned away from all the big parties.
Janel, how was your experience in Las Vegas?
It was so good.
For the Super Bowl.
It was really fun.
You had a great time?
I had a great time.
How long were you there? When did you get there?
I got in on Thursday.
Ooh, plenty of time to party.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's enough. I mean, it's a lot.
Did you get just absolutely hammered?
Every single day.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, Janel. I knew you'd do it.
Did you go to Shaq's Funhouse party?
Shaq's Funhouse.
I'm going to tell you something. So we got the invite for it. It was like 1 a.m. and someone's like, let's go to Shaq's. And I'm like, I can't do it. I couldn't rally.
What?
You know? You guys, that's 3 a.m. our time, for the love of God.
That's ridiculous. You're right. I'd love to go to Shaq.
Ashley.
I need a matinee show for Shaq.
Thank you. Thank
Ashley, you're too young. You don't understand yet.
You'll learn.
Janel, I love Shaq, and we were talking on air yesterday about Shaq's Funhouse party.
Yeah.
And Josh and I were saying, if we were in Vegas, hell, skip the game, skip the casinos and all that nonsense.
Yeah.
We'd go straight to Shaq's Funhouse party. But if they told me it started at 1 a.m., I would say no.
This is the problem. But
that's ridiculous.
But then the next day you hear the stories and you go, God, that was stupid. I should have done it. But
Did you go to Marshmallows after party where everybody was?
The Kansas City Chiefs celebration party.
Is that what the real title was? Yeah. Did you head that way?
I did not. No. I was not invited.
What party did you go, or did you go to any of them?
Yeah, we went to, quite a few different ones. I mean, Vegas was a good place to have it. Obviously, the venues are so cool, and there's just so many great places. Like every year, it's almost overwhelming. There are 4, 5, 6 events a night. Where do you go? It's just too much. but it was a lot of fun.
Who were you working for?
NFL Network.
Okay.
Yep. But I really did not work. I'm going to be very frank.
There was very little work, and most of it was just socializing and having fun.
Yes.
Good for you.
It was a good time.
I'm glad.
Thank you. It was fun.
So, some of the things we were wondering, we talked about you quite a bit while you were gone last week, talking about how you were heading off to Vegas to have the time of your life. Did they put you up in one of those garbage hotels? Now, here's what we heard. We heard that all the media was being put in garbage hotels. And one more time, help me out, Randy, which of those hotels they mentioned in the article?
Wasn't it like
Luxor?
Was
The
one?
Luxor and the Excalibur. Yes.
I didn't know anyone staying in those, but there were people staying in garbage hotels.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was the story.
Where did you stay?
I didn't have to do that. I got put in the corporate travel agency, Marriott, Hilton, just whatever. So I wasn't close to the action, but that was just fine.
You were out of town.
So you're not on the Strip.
I was not on the Strip.
Fair enough.
Which was just fine.
Sounds like you had a good time, though.
It was a really good time.
What was the highlight for you?
I just every year it's just seeing people that you never see. And you do see some celebrities, although I feel like
Give us the rundown.
Well, the vast majority of every year is former football players, which doesn't do it for me, number one. And number two, I don't know who a lot of them are.
Sure. Right.
If I were with Randy or you guys, you would all appreciate it and think it was the coolest thing.
I would certainly know when you were looking at Mike Tice. And when you were looking at someone who was imitating Mike Tice. That's an old story. Go ahead. So the highlight and what was your highlight and who were some of the big shots that you...
Well, a lot of 49ers players from years past, right? Because they just obviously wanted to turn out to see how it would go.
Right.
We saw Eli Manning. He was at one of the events, tasted the NFL, which has Minnesota roots, which is kind of cool. The Maxim party was really fun.
Wow, Maxim is still a thing?
I didn't know that was still a thing.
I didn't either, but the party was great.
I'll bet. Of these former 49ers, I'm completely asking for a friend.
Yeah.
Jimmy Garoppolo, was he there? And if so...
It's funny you should
How
say
do you
that,
look?
Josh. He might be the one 49er I would care to see.
I can understand why.
Not Joe Montana.
No, you want to see Jimmy
I want to
G.
see Jimmy, yeah. Exactly.
You did not see Jimmy
I
Garoppolo?
did not see Jimmy. Do you want to hear something that I thought
Go
was
ahead.
funny? Is at one of these parties, there's celebrities, whatever, but somebody at the party had the idea that they would bring a life-size Taylor Swift cardboard cutout.
Uh-oh.
There was a line 50 people long to take pictures with the cardboard cutout.
Are you serious?
That's how insane Taylor Swift
See, I
fever
would
is.
brace myself for something awful. You see what I'm saying?
With the Taylor Swift cutout?
I would brace myself for something awful.
Yeah, that's a good
Drunken
point.
dudes walking around.
Yeah, that does seem dangerous.
Yeah.
It sounds like nothing of that sort happened.
Not that I
okay,
saw.
good.
Yeah.
How much of the game did you see?
I did not go to the game.
Oh, you didn't go?
No.
Did you have tickets?
We
Working
always
for NFL Network and
Did
didn't
not
go to the game.
I will tell you that I have chosen pretty much every year not to go to the game. I don't have
So you
a
do
big
have the
interest in
option?
that. Yeah, if you want to work it or if you want, there was a couple years I got tickets. I just don't care. I would rather be at home on my sofa watching that game.
or even just at a neighborhood bar.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's a goat rodeo to go to those.
It's a lot.
Not an Usher fan, huh? Did you?
I do like Usher. I thought the halftime show was great.
At this point in my life, I might turn down tickets to the game too and just go to a topless bar.
Well, the thing is, I think unless you're a fan of one of the teams playing,
Right.
Really, I don't know. Do you have a dog in that fight?
I mean, I went to one Super Bowl and I drank so damn much I didn't even remember watching a.
I never knew that. Which one did you go to?
In New Orleans, 1909, Packers Patriots, 97, 97.
You have talked about that.
I just. I told you I sat next to Mike Ditka in a friggin' suite.
That was so
You
cool to
spend
go
so
to the
much
Super
time
Bowl.
drinking and jaw-jacking with everybody that I didn't really even watch the game. And at that point, I was a hard-on for NFL football. I was. So I was mad at myself the next morning I didn't pay closer attention to the game.
Yeah.
At this point in my life, I'd go to Cheetah's.
I've noticed that anytime I go to a game, I have less idea of what happened than if I would have just watched it at home.
That's exactly
Because like you said, Nick, you
Yeah.
start talking and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Did you run into any ex-boyfriends?
0.
God.
2 Pumps and a Squeeze Jesus wants to know, did you get a chance to meet Joe Burrow? You love Joe Cool.
I do love Joe Burrow. I wonder if he was there. I don't know. I never
you
heard
never-
anything
never
about
saw
him.
it, never heard
saw
anything?
him.
You didn't run into Ric Flair, did you? Jesus.
I bet he had tabs on you, though. Boy, did he fall in love.
Well, we're so happy that you had a good time. We're happy that it wasn't too much work and it was more laughs and socializing. That's great.
A lot of antics. And meanwhile, before I forget,
Yes.
in my absence, you guys celebrated 25 years.
We did.
Awesome.
We didn't
Thank
want to
you.
do it without you, but we had to.
It just blows my mind.
We hit the 25-year mark on Saturday officially.
Unreal.
Josh and I on the Half-Assed Morning Show. It's very nice of you to bring it up.
Yeah, thank you.
You guys are my heroes. I don't know how you've done it,
That's
but
silly.
you're just awesome. That's all I can say.
Well, it's very sweet of you, Janelle. We got a lot of text messages last week
Good.
congratulating us from our listening audience.
The company was great to us. I mean, honestly, it was very touching.
The company threw a 5-minute party in the lobby for us.
It was a little awkward.
It was fun.
Full of stale donuts.
I love it. Did you get a gold watch?
No, we did it. We got really fancy donuts.
Really?
Delicious donuts. They
Uh-huh.
took a picture. They looked uninterested for 5 minutes. They walked away.
Janelle, they had those like the sales staff or whoever it was, probably the promotions girl, Ryder. She got like those big balloons that you get for like a 21st birthday.
Oh, nice, you guys.
Oh, wow, balloons.
Wow.
But it said
Those ones are
52.
pricey, man.
They had them backwards.
Oh.
There's not a lot of attention to detail around here. But it was great, honestly. I mean, it was so nice that they showed up on a day, most of them don't come in on a Friday.
Yeah.
Me and Nick walk out. They friggin' start applauding. Dana, Ashley walk out.
We got booed.
And then Wapple walked out. And then me and Nick walked out again, and they started applauding.
Yeah, people were crying. They were throwing babies to get them signed.
No, it really was touching, and it's become one of my favorite memories being here. It was a surprise. We had no idea that
We
was
deserve every little single bit of it. We deserve it all.
Indeed, you do.
Here's the deal. More on that damn ball game from a couple days ago. There's still some fallout from the ball game. Who said something about the halftime show?
I brought up Usher.
Usher singing songs and whatnot at the halftime show. He was on roller skates.
That was where it picked up for me. When he's a good skater, man.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
I
and,
was
like,
surprised.
How fast did he get out of those things?
It was less than 90 seconds, I heard.
That's intense.
I didn't see it, but I
he did
I
a
heard he
quick
was-
change.
Yeah, I would love to see the video of him getting into the roller skates and everything, because that was quick.
It was quick, and also he went right underneath that dude's legs. I mean, that guy's really trusting because you can do some damage. But yeah, it was.
I loved it.
That was the only part I was really interested in.
The roller skates he was wearing were made by Minnesota company.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
Rydell, Randy, is that how you say it? Rydell?
Yep.
Rydell Roller.
From Red Wing, Minnesota. So they're the ones who provided the skates, and they're all fired up down there in Red Wing. The skates he was wearing are $1,400. They're called Flippers World Quads. I know nothing about roller skates or roller blades or any of that. There's a cheaper option, apparently. You can call the folks down there at Rydell, whatever they're called. Rydell Roller. They got some cheaper.
There was one girl, I actually just saw a video of it this morning. She fibbed a little bit on her resume, and she ended up being one of the people that were in roller skates. I'm not sure if she was one of the main dancers, but she biffed it off the stage.
She lied her way onto the stage at
Yeah.
the Super Bowl halftime show, and then she fell off the stage while wearing roller skates?
Yeah.
Really?
I haven't had much of a chance to fact check it too much, but it seems legit.
I haven't heard that.
Who out of the 5-6 of us spent time at their neighborhood roller rink as a kid?
I spent so much time. I was only 2 blocks away from one, so Saints North.
Yeah,
shout out to them.
Shout out Skateville and Burnsville, still there, by the way.
Yeah, only a couple times with school.
Cheapskate in Hopkins.
Oh.
That was the joint we went to when we were kids.
Did you guys have Did you have laser tag at your roller rink? We
There was
did.
no such thing as lasers when I was at the roller rink.
Oh, it was so sweet.
But we had an arcade, and I would always find myself in the arcade during the snowball dance.
Yeah, no girls wanted to skate with you, did they, Waffle?
Nope.
When you came,
man.
The snowball, I'd always go to the bathroom just to pretend like, somebody might have asked me, but I was in the bathroom.
you guys found yourself finger banging the centipede game when it came time to pair up with a lady and roll around the rink.
Yep.
Randy, I bet you scored heavy at the roller rink.
Oh, actually, I did not. The only time I was ever in a roller rink was that was where we practiced indoor track. Believe it or not, we worked out inside a roller rink.
Dude,
crazy, I know. Yeah, I've never skated in my life.
What?
Really? Well, it's an Iowegian thing.
Yeah.
You know, they don't give a rat's ass about skating.
We got to get you on a pair then.
Like rollerbladed.
No.
In the summer. Wow.
Never had those.
There was no
They
such
did
thing
not
as
exist.
rollerblades when Randy was in high school.
And what's the saying about ice skating in Iowa, Randy?
There's we just put salt on ice. We don't skate.
I have very vivid memories of the roller rink when we were kids. We went there quite often, and I had a little lady friend, and I remember when the snowball dance kicked off, we skated around together hand in hand. One of the songs that was played, I'll always remember. You would think it would be like, Open Arms by Journey or something like that. But for whatever reason, on this particular day, when me and this gal kind of hooked up, they were playing Electric Avenue by Eddie Grant.
Sure, that's a tune.
We're gonna rock down to electric.
Yeah, that puts you in the mood. I had my very first kiss at the roller rink, actually. Yeah. It was not cool because what you should definitely not do for your first kiss when you have no idea what you're doing is try to do it while you're on skates.
Oh.
So we missed the first time.
Lucky you didn't lose a tooth.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen me and Nick try and high five? We've never connected. Over 25 years, we never have connected.
It's painful.
We miss every time. Yes. Okay, the Super Bowl was wildly popular with television viewers. 123.4 million viewers. Apparently, that's the biggest TV audience since the moon landing.
Shout out to Taylor Swift.
She is getting credit for it.
The moon landing, Randy Shaver. I'd say this is a pretty reasonable total. A grand total of 6 people were arrested during the football game at the ballpark there in Vegas.
That's
impressive.
Kind of a low number.
Yeah, I would have thought a lot more.
Yeah, reasonable. One fan was arrested for grand larceny. What do you have to steal?
Wow.
What do you have to steal off somebody to be charged with grand larceny? It's got to be an expensive item, right?
Yeah.
Is that how that works? It's figured by dollar value?
I think so.
Wow, grand larceny.
Or maybe the way you do it. I guess I don't really know. Like maybe how you steal it.
I don't know.
Things.
I don't know the rules. But when someone says grand larceny, I think of things like cars and planes and whatnot. Someone got arrested for trying to beat up a cop.
Doesn't it seem like 6 arrests just in Vegas over a weekend is low, no matter what's going on?
Well, I was thinking,
just in general.
If you have the money to go to the Super Bowl, you're probably not going to do anything stupid while you're there.
One derelict got in because he decided to try to beat up a cop. But then again, rich folks probably think,
I got a lawyer that can get me out of this.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
2 got arrested for munging and 2 got arrested for running onto the field during the third quarter.
But were they streaking?
No, we had this conversation yesterday.
Nobody streaked.
Okay.
We had this. Is that where you were going with this?
Yeah.
They call it streaking even though they got clothes on?
Right.
Yeah. That frustrated me.
That's not really streaking.
It's not streaking.
We covered it. I get more and more frustrated every time I read a headline. Hey, somebody streaked at the. That's not streaking.
No, it's not.
Either
do it right or don't do it at all.
That's right, Randy.
Man's got to have a code, and that's Randy's.
Did you watch the that's not the word I'm looking for. Did you watch the commercials? Is that something you're down with, Janel Klein?
I did watch some. I have to say I didn't pay attention to all of them. I actually liked that Jennifer Lopez, Ben Affleck one. I thought that was
the one
pretty
people
funny.
seem to like the most.
Yeah.
Okay, we talked a little bit about it yesterday.
Yeah.
I'm not a Super Bowl commercial guy, but you guys mentioned Matt Affleck and Brent Damon, whatever their names are.
You got
it. And Jennifer Lopez doing a Dunkin' Donuts commercial. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
The Dunkin' Kings.
The track suits that they were wearing sold out already.
19 minutes it took.
Everybody, every dorky party you go to now, someone's going to show up. Look, it's the same track suit. They sold out. Everybody wants a Dunkin' Donuts track suit.
That'll be the Halloween costume.
Yes.
Dana, when's yours arrive?
Yeah, exactly.
It does seem like something I would do, but surprisingly, I did not get
without a doubt.
on it.
You're the first person I thought of. I wonder if they'll release more.
No kidding.
19 minutes. That's pretty impressive. That's one of those instant regret purchases, right?
Yeah.
Like Nick, your late night ab dolly. What am I doing?
Well, actually, I liked the ab dolly. I used it, and it worked. But everyone knows a thing or two about late night drunken.
Nick, when
the-
it shows up, that's not the dolly I was thinking about.
How do you inflate
purchasing?
this thing?
Right. What infomercial? That's the word,
Ab
right?
dolly, what?
I was looking for Abby Normal.
Yes, I wanted an Abby dolly.
No, that was, Christ, I was 24, 5 years old, drunk as a skunk, laid in bed 3 o'clock in the morning type of thing, and former NFL quarterback Jake Plummer comes on my television.
Oh, my God.
He was a current player at the time, actually. He was a current player. He comes on my television talking about the ab roller is what it was.
That's right, the ab roller.
It was the dolly or the roller, it doesn't matter. But Jake Plummer starts telling me about how this is the abdominal workout of the 20th century. You got to buy this thing. And I bought it, and it actually did work. I had it up until a couple years ago. It was relatively easy, and so that was actually a worthwhile deal. All right, back to... we mentioned the folks that got arrested at the Super Bowl. I don't know why we're supposed to care, but I'm going to go ahead anyway. An OnlyFans model claims she and her boyfriend had sex in the Super Bowl parking lot during the Super Bowl.
Good for you.
And I know some of you are going to be surprised for me to say this, but as much as I love hot mamas on the internet, some of this stuff is so dumb. I mean, what are we in 9th grade?
This is the same lady that's done this a bunch, right?
I had heard of her doing it once before.
Yeah, this is kind of her thing.
I don't get it. So you went to the parking lot?
Yeah.
So what?
Right. Exactly.
I know.
I mean, speaking of hanging out at the
Spoken like a true veteran.
Ooh, a parking lot.
Wow.
Janelle was conceived in a parking lot.
We were just discussing, our younger days at the roller rink. That's what this reminds me of.
Right.
No way, you totally had sex? And so what if you had sex in a parking lot? I know a dude who exclusively had sex in a parking lot for about a year and a half because he had nowhere else to go do it. He was dating a new lady. His kids were always at his place. He lived in this small little townhouse to where there's no way he and his lady could bump without everybody in the townhouse knowing about it. So the two of them would fold at the parking lot. So what, lady?
Have you ever been in high school?
Right.
Yeah, you used to do it out of necessity.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you know the park and ride is a popular hookup for infidelity?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I got a friend who's a cop, and they would have a sting there just to try and stop people from having sex in the parking lot at a park and ride.
Makes sense.
What's the charge if you get caught doing that? What's the criminal charge?
Waffle?
I think
Badassery?
Yeah. You're charged with
Grand theft
awesome. Grand theft awesome.
Indecent exposure,
Maybe.
Public indecency, yeah.
So again, I dig naked internet ladies and all that, but some of this stuff just comes off so dumb.
You could get 90 days in jail or a $1,000 fine.
Oh, that wouldn't have been ideal when I was 17, 18.
$1,000 fine? That would have been a big deal.
No, I said it wouldn't have been ideal.
Ideal.
She likes the word ideal.
Ideal.
So here's this lady, Kaylee is her name. We're definitely going to continue having sex in risky situations. We love doing it.
Yay.
The only places we wouldn't have sex in public are churches and school. You're making porn fans look stupid.
That was the spot in high school, the church parking lot.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
There's so many other parking lots, actually.
But it was only ever busy on Wednesdays or Sundays. So you knew there'd be nobody there.
Well, God's there. And he controls lightning.
Oh, my God. I'm sorry, God controls the lightning?
From what I understand. You want to be smit or smited?
No. I'm sorry, God.
Thank you for apologizing
I
to
could
God.
never live with that guilt. Ever. Even if a thought popped in my head in a church parking lot and by myself, I'd think, oh, no, I've done it now.
Josh is way too Catholic to be boning in the church parking lot.
Oh, my God.
I'd have an immaculate STD.
Terrible things. Ashley, sometimes you just say terrible things.
I know.
Oh, my buddy made a jackass out of himself in a church parking lot once. It was one of those deals where he just got annihilated at a pal's house, woke up the next morning, time to drive yourself home. And about halfway home, he did not feel good. He had to yak. And he pulls off the freeway, just desperate. Oh, God, I'm going to throw up. He doesn't want to do it in his car. He's so hungover. He comes screaming into a church parking lot. All the old folks are holding hands, walking into the building to pray or do whatever they do. And he cracks open his driver's side door. He throws up in the parking lot. He shuts the door and he drives out of there.
I bet they thought he was like the devil.
Everyone in the parking lot completely confused as to what the hell. See you later. All right, closing out on this dumb football game that I don't want to talk about anymore. But it is kind of interesting to read a couple of stats. The 49ers have been to 7 NFC title games and 3 Super Bowls since 2000 plus 11 and have 0 rings to show for it.
Yep.
They're
It's
going to
almost
start
30 years since they've won the last Super Bowl.
They're going to start getting picked on. Kyle Shanahan, the coach of that club, has now blown 4 double-digit leads in Super Bowls and NFC title games. I bet you the fan base has reminded him of all that.
Oh, yeah.
The Chiefs Super Bowl parade is going to be tomorrow. And if Travis Kelce is handed a microphone, I guarantee he morphs into his cross between a bad club DJ and Buford T. Justice from Smokey and the Bandit. The more I've heard his he's got this alter ego that he turns into when a microphone is put in his face, especially after a big win. The more I listen to it, you gotta pay attention. But at first I just said it was a bad club DJ, but there's also a touch of Buford T. Justice from Smokey and the Bandit. Listen closely, and you'll know what I'm talking about. Josh, if you get audio of that, if he gets a microphone at this parade, just throw it in the trash, please. If you care about me at all as a friend and a lover, you will not play audio on this program of Travis Kelce once he transforms himself into his bad club DJ / Buford T. Justice character.
Well, what if it's more ridiculous than normal?
Please.
All right.
Please.
We'll have Wapple recreate it.
Perfect.
All right. You got to be kidding me. This is great. Get this. We got to take a little sidestep here. You don't mind a sidestep, do you? We got to go in a different direction real quick. It's out of our hands. We're obligated. Get this. Just a little information here. Just announced. We were just handed this. Just announced. Motley Crue is coming to town to the Minnesota State Fair. I couldn't make it through it. Motley Crue will be performing a live concert at the Minnesota State Fair come August 29th at the Grandstand. Tickets go on sale Friday at 10 a.m. Randy, Motley Crue's coming back to the State Fair.
Yeah, sorry.
He's not going to be there?
No.
Bum,
Did you go to their last 4 other shows when they came to town saying it was their last show?
Who are you talking to?
Wasn't it Motley Crue that said this is definitely our final?
Oh, yeah, they blew up
show.
They blew up. They wrote a contract and blew it up and all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Their first 2 records were so much fun, but I enjoy picking on them now. That
take a look at what Vince Neil's wearing in his more recent concerts. I think you'll like it. It's like a kimono with a cape or something like that.
Boy, I got pissed off at that show that was supposed to be their final. Like 7 or 8 years ago when they did the whole, this is it, like Josh was saying, they signed contracts and then they burned them, or whatever they did. They played my favorite song. as part of a medley.
I don't like
bummer.
that.
I hate when they do medleys.
So do I.
And they fired up my favorite Motley Crue song, On With the Show. Oh, God, when I was a kid, I would listen to it over and over and over. And they started up On With the Show. And I said, okay, to whoever, I said, this is why I'm here. And they played half of it, and then they moved on to some other song. And I was like in the third row, and I was standing in my chair giving them the finger. You idiots, you screwed up On With the Show. I had to hit the sack at halftime, Randy Shaver, so I know very little about how this happened, but the Wolves ended up beating the LA Clippers by 21 points.
Well, then you missed the best half, for sure.
Yeah, I did. I hate that 9:30 crap.
Yeah, they throttled them in the second half.
You must have stayed up and watched it.
I did. I stayed up and watched them.
Bastard.
I mean, I saw most of, well, I shouldn't say most. I saw the first quarter, then I had to work, and then by the time I got home, it was halfway through the third. And that's just about the time they were picking things up and taking care of business. So, yeah, it was not a pretty sight if you're a Clippers fan. They looked old and slow.
Good.
And very, looked pretty futile, to be honest with you. And the Wolves just clobbered them.
Each of their big name players is more aggravating as you go down the line. Paul George, Russell Westbrook, Kawhi Leonard, and then, of course, the most aggravating of all is James Harden. I hate the Clippers.
Well, Westbrook for sure. The guy can't shoot anymore. He just can't. He's just not a very good shooter. And Harden does his best to kind of keep everybody in the flow, but they just could not put anything together last night. The Coffee kid gets a lot of time.
Amir Coffee?
I will say this.
I ain't mad at him.
Former Gopher. Yeah, he played like 26 minutes last night.
I like Amir Coffee. I'm not mad at him.
I'm telling you, Gobert and Towns and Edwards and Naz Reid was just tremendous in the second half. I mean,
of course he is. I discovered him.
Yeah, of course. They just took care of business last night.
That's great.
It was a butt kicking.
As much as I dislike the Clippers, you have to acknowledge they're a very good basketball team, and they're right up there at the top of the Western Conference.
I think they're more, to me.
You say it's kind of a mirage?
Yep. I think they're more a pretender than they are a contender for the top spot in the West. I would say you're still looking at teams like Oklahoma City and Denver as opposed to the Clippers.
But they thumped them good last night and on the road, and they had a huge third quarter. That's all great news. So tonight they got to go back-to-back skis. They're going to play in Portland tonight.
And that actually was, they had a chance to set. I mean, Towns only played 27 minutes last night. They had a chance to pull back a little bit and save some legs a little bit last night because they were ahead by so much. So, and then, Portland is what they are. They're not a very good basketball team, so they should go into there tonight and take care of business too. So.
Now, we have to go all the way back to the intro that Josh played before we even started this conversation with Randy Shaver and Janel Klein. I didn't get a chance to explain it. We got wound up in talking about Janelle's trip to Vegas and all the laughs she had covering the Super Bowl. But so Josh will have to fire up this audio again here in a minute. The Iowegian women's basketball team, they're a big deal because that Caitlin Clark runs around scoring all the points, right? The Iowegian ladies basketball team. Something happened the other night that pissed off their head coach. And I don't know. I think this is kind of silly. Their head coach's name is Lisa Bluder. She wasn't happy. They got beat by Nebraska, number one. That's a big upset.
Yep.
They're playing in Lincoln, Nebraska. There's this Caitlin Clark at the free throw line. And she missed her first free throw. And somebody in the Nebraska marching band did the sad trombone bit.
Oh, that's hilarious.
How do you not do that every time?
Womp, 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 womp. Or however, we have to play the audio again. And I guess they did it twice. She missed both of her free throws. And after the game, the coach was pissed, thinking that was wildly disrespectful. The Nebraska girls are trying to have a press conference, and the Iowegian coach is hollering in the background about how they need to catch a plane. Hurry up. And by the way, you're not supposed to play music during free throws. She just came off like an ass.
Yeah, she really did.
We got a flight to catch. This is bull. This is not Big Ten protocol. They play music while you do free throws.
Wasn't another one of the reasons is because usually they did like the wrong order in the press conference. I saw on Twitter that
usually the visiting team goes first.
Yep. Okay.
That's what I think meant by they have a plane.
Things happen.
Yeah, visiting team usually goes first.
It's not the most noticeable in the clip, but here's what Nick was talking about with the band in the background.
No good.
I was going to say a pretty good option they're choosing.
You would imagine so at 86%. Okay. So, the sound effects tell the story here in Lincoln.
Why is that they didn't play it while she was shooting.
Right. Come on,
they
that's
played
funny.
it after it was done.
Right.
God, stop crying like that. That's just...
Either way, maybe it is against the rules for the band to make any noise, but whatever.
Whatever.
It's sports. Chill out.
I mean, have you been to a college basketball game? I mean, some of the student sections are just crazy.
Like the head shaving and the bikinis
just the screaming. There was a dude in the marching band at the Golden Gopher games a few years ago who just had this ability to scream so ear-piercing, high and loud. I mean, so what? So you heard a trombone in the background. The Pigs got a win last night against the defending champion Golden Knights, 5-3. So they've won 3 in a row. This is a tough team to figure out, aren't they?
I know. I think it's great. Nice effort. I'm not so sure that it's going to take a lot more than that to get themselves back in the chase, but give them credit. They're giving their best effort.
They need one of those 8 to 10 game winning streaks is what's going to get them. Jewel Erickson X scored twice, even though one of them was an empty net goal, so it really doesn't count. Now they play the Arizona. They got to go to Arizona. Oh, my God, Arizona. Tomorrow night.
Go play in that high school arena.
Yeah, it's called like the beer fart arena or something like that. It's something like, I'm not joking. It's Mullet Town or something like that. Someone look that up.
Mountain America. Nope, that's their football stadium. Sorry. Mullet Arena. The ASU Arena.
All right. Did we know this already? I thought we knew this already. Randy, I thought you talked about it yesterday, day before, but I saw an article yesterday. The Bally Sports North thing is up and running again. Twins fans don't need to worry. Okay.
Yeah, but I mean, there's no streaming.
That's the problem for people.
Streaming. What is that now?
Well, that means you've got to get cable to watch the game. And so
I'm not doing that. So
the Twins, I think this will be the last year that they'll do this with Bally's, because I think Major League Baseball is working hard to get everybody in the same area as far as streaming goes, so that fans can stream baseball games across the country.
So some of you folks aren't happy with this.
No.
Nope.
You can't stream it, means you can't watch it on your phone. I'm sorry, I don't know what streaming means.
It means you can't, like, no Hulu, no Netflix, no Peacock, no.
You have to go through Comcast or DirecTV.
That's right. If you're a cord cutter, you're not getting the games.
Yep.
Yeah, and there's no way that, because I have all those streaming services, I don't have cable, because it would be just ridiculously expensive. So yeah, I'm pretty bummed out.
Yeah, if you're checking the text here, and a lot of people are, millennial steel cutter Jesus is not going to get cable. He thinks it's stupid.
Yeah. That would be all that I would use cable for. And it's not like it's like $20 like Hulu or something. It's like $70-$80.
Well, that's a hell of a deal. I feel bad.
Well, but the thing is, Nick,
to go to the bar.
You have to, for the Twins, this is their money. This is their revenue money. And so local television is what helps drive their salaries. And so that's the problem. They've got to figure this thing out, because it's not equal across the board. As we all know, baseball is different than the NFL. The Dodgers, the Yankees have this monster local television contract that allows them to spend millions of dollars on players. The Twins maybe get from Bally's maybe this year. I think they were supposed to get $54 million. They didn't get the full price, probably 15% less than that. So, but that's money that they supposedly put back into their team as far as player salaries go.
I thought this was going to be a happy story. I brought the party right to a screeching halt. Ashley and Dana are over here. I don't even know what I'm going to do.
Right.
Like I said, I'll just have to go to the bar, I guess.
Yeah, can you play the sad trombone again, Josh?
I brought the party to a screeching halt, Janel Klein.
It's too bad.
By talking about the Bally Sports North and the streaming and the this and that. I don't know. Some people are texting in and saying, go get cable, you cheap bastards.
I guess my question is, if you're doing 3 different streaming services together, isn't that about the same price as cable?
Yeah, but I'm not going to get rid of those because on those I actually watch like 4 or 5 different shows.
I don't know anything about all this stuff. I'm sorry that it's not working out for some of you, though. I feel terrible. True story. I feel nothing.
It was coming across like you didn't mean it.
Did that come off dishonest from the get-go?
Yeah.
Oh, because I'm pretty excited. Pretty excited about this. I knew I wouldn't be able to sell that. Me feeling bad for other people.
Yeah. We know you better
I've
than
never
that.
been any good at that.
Really.
Feeling bad for other people has never been a strength
Finish
for me.
this word.
What word? Now go ahead. Thesaurus?
No. Empathy was the word we were looking
Fee is how I wrapped that up?
Yes, empathy.
This is unbelievable. A soccer player died. He got hit on the head by lightning.
Oh, that's tough. I told you who controls that.
That's right.
Sex in the parking lot of a church.
Can you believe that?
Shouldn't have done it.
That's awful.
Guy's playing soccer out on a soccer field. He gets hit in the dome by lightning.
Well, first of all,
Why are they out there?
yeah, why? Yeah, exactly.
Well, lightning can travel. These are things
Yeah,
that
but normally you get a little bit of a warning that there's going to be lightning in the area.
Well, okay.
You've probably seen it a few times before it actually strikes you.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how it all worked out. But dude got hit by lightning, and he's now dead.
Wow.
Maybe they do things differently in Indonesia. They don't care about it at all.
Indonesia? Is that where this happened?
I believe so.
They don't believe in lightning.
They play all their soccer games in lightning storms.
God dang. Didn't we have a listener on years ago, Josh, at our 25 years, #1 show in town? You guys know the story. Didn't we have a listener call in once that got hit by lightning?
Yeah, wasn't even twice, maybe?
Yeah, he got hit twice.
Yeah, and one was at a drive-through, the most recent one.
Valley High.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why we had him on.
Drive-through?
I'm sorry, a drive-in.
A drive-in movie theater.
Yes, a drive-in movie theater.
Okay.
And yeah, that's why we had him on, because of that story. And he mentioned it was actually the second time, if I remember correctly. That's the guy, right?
Yep,
Wait, so was the guy in his car at the drive-in when he got hit?
I think he got out of his car.
Okay,
then
because they have all those metal stands, obviously, at those
Yeah.
drive-ins where you listen to the movie.
I think he was getting out to get popcorn and hot dogs and stuff and food for the family.
I thought that's what he said. Yeah, he was getting his kids some food.
Jeez.
Wow.
And that's how he's repaid.
God dang. All right. There you go. My damn Randy Shaver.
Well, Janelle, I'm happy you're safe.
Thanks, Randy.
We were all worried about you
No,
last
I'm
week.
sure. I'm sure. If I had run into trouble, which of you should I have called?
Well, you know,
Josh.
Nick has all that empath. Go ahead, Nick.
Forrest. Well, first of all, you wouldn't get a hold of Wapple.
Right.
That
That's
wouldn't
true.
happen. He doesn't answer his phone.
Okay.
He does not.
Ampa-lumpa.
No.
Dane is too busy playing video games.
Right.
Don't even go there. Nick doesn't care, so Josh would be the person.
Josh would be.
Yep, 100% Josh.
That's an easy one.
That's true.
Ashley's called me in not controversy, but in great distress one time. And I mentioned this before. When she called, I thought, oh God, she killed him. She finally killed him. I thought she killed her husband at first. So I'm trying to think, do I help her bury him? Do we go to the cops? What do we do? And then when she told me what it was, I was relieved it wasn't that. But I legitimately thought she had murdered her husband at the time.
Oh, man.
I don't know.
They're out in the middle of nowhere. Maybe she would have got away with it. I don't know.
Right.
But I thought this is it. Finally, I knew
lot
it
of
was going
pig
to happen.
farms out there.
Yep.
Janelle, if you're ever in trouble in the shower, I'm your man.
Oh yeah, did you know that he won an award for and you call it again?
The game?
Yeah.
Shower rescue.
Shower rescue.
Yes.
I did not
Yes.
know this.
Shower rescue is my game. All right, empanada, people are saying. Empanada.
No. Empathy.
Is that a sandwich
Empathy
or something?
when you feel for other people.
We got to go, Randy Shaver. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
See ya.
Half-assed morning show.
They're loud, they lose control, they do their little circus act, they're a nuisance.
93X.
Our experienced and certified technicians at Standard Heating have been trusted to keep our fellow Minnesotans comfortable and confident for over 90 years. We're ready to do the same for you, providing comfort you deserve since 1930.
Standard Heating is having their 94-year celebration. They have special offers just for you this February. Whether you need a new furnace or a tune-up, they have something special for everyone. Visit standardheating.com to save today.
The Rolling Stone Music Now podcast gets inside the biggest stories with Rolling Stone senior writer Brian Hyatt.
And here's Lil Yachty with Tierra Whack. I've never been to a fashion show. I never did any Paris Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week, and I'll tell you why. Because I would always go to events and people would say to me, "Oh man, Yachty, man, I love your music, bro." And I should be like, "What song?" I didn't even, at the time, I didn't love my music. I would feel like I'm in a room with all these artists and they all respect each other, and I feel like no one respects me.
Rolling Stone Music Now, wherever you listen.
KARE 11's Janel Klein.
She's a real monster. She is a menace to society. She's a master manipulator, and she should not be on the street.
This is the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
Here we are. 93X Half-Assed Morning Show with Janel Klein in studio. Janel.
Nick.
Wonderful, wonderful Janel. It's nice to have you back in town.
You cheer us up when Wapple just played one of the most depressing songs of all time.
I missed it.
Is that a sad-ass song? I've never really listened to the words of that song.
The only time I ever hear it is when something not great is. We lost somebody or somebody's moving on.
Look, I hope you had a good time. Isn't that basically the vibe of the song?
We had the time of our lives.
I hope you had a good time. It's not my problem if you didn't, but I hope you had a good time. So tomorrow is Valentine's Day. For some, by God, it's the biggest damn deal. You better say and do the right. It's Valentine's Day, and you didn't do anything. Some people, big deal. Others, who cares?
Did you guys have a rose deal at your school where you could buy a rose and have it delivered to someone?
No, we had candy grams.
Yep, that's what we had too, Wapple.
Yeah,
similar vibe.
Too cheap for roses.
Yeah, you'd get a candy heart package, and then they would deliver it to whoever you bought it for.
Oh, we didn't have the candy grams. They sold roses. That's what it was.
You're talking high school days?
Yeah, high school, and then there were different colors, which might mean something different. You know, like the red, obviously you love. The pink was, hey, you interested? Maybe let's go out. And the white was, what's up, bro?
We had, what we had was something I'm sure you can't get away with anymore. Kissograms, where, like, if I had a crush on you, Cubby, I'd sign you up. I'd sign you up for a kissogram, right? And then a gaggle of gals would come to your classroom with layers and layers of lipstick on, and they'd all give you a kiss.
That's adorable.
Yeah.
So then the gimmick was, by the third or fourth hour in school, some people were absolutely covered in lipstick from all the kissograms that they received.
I would have none.
You're just putting some on yourself in the vacuum stall?
It does sound like a good way to get mono, though.
That's what I'm saying. Or worse. I was part of the gaggle of dudes that would go class to class and kiss girls who received a kissogram from somebody, and I liked it.
Did you ever make one up? Hey, hot lady, you got a kissogram.
I
guess I got to kiss you.
I never thought.
Delivery driver Sheeza said at her school they had roses or carnations you could choose from.
So here's the deal. Valentine's Day is tomorrow. Like I said, the pressure is on. Other couples, they don't give a rat's ass. Some hate Valentine's Day. Hate it.
That's true.
Those people kind of bum me out a little.
Well, I mean, I can understand why. Some of them are the types who are longing. It's not a word I often use on the radio. Longing for a one-on-one committed relationship, and they just haven't found it yet. So Valentine's Day is frustrating, upsetting, maybe even pisses them off a little bit, watching everybody all around town holding hands and doing fun dinners and things like that. They get angry. Some maybe think back to a bad breakup, heartbreaking, memories of love gone wrong?
Yeah, I was always broken up with around Valentine's Day.
Oh, so they could avoid getting you something?
No, I don't think so.
They didn't want to be seen with them at dinner.
Yeah, I don't think they probably just didn't want to go out on a Valentine's date. You know?
I'm not trying to rip you, but I thought you said you didn't really have girlfriends.
No, the two I did.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh, since
yeah.
you're an adult, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh.
I probably wouldn't like it either if 2 out of 3 of my relationships, it was around Valentine's Day. And I'm like, dang.
It's one thing to be seen with Wapple, in June.
Yeah, exactly.
Out in public. You get seen with him on Valentine's Day, people are like, oh, for Christ's sake, are you kidding me?
So are you getting a little nervous,
Is that
Wapple?
a Make-A-Wish thing going on?
Oh!
What it do, Jesus said, Valentine's Day or not, my fiance's still getting 20 seconds. Take it or leave it. That's it. That's all you get.
Wapple, for the record, nobody should ever break up with you.
Oh, thanks, Janelle.
Yep, you're very sweet, Janelle.
Yeah. Well, Wapple is he's too good for the rest of us. It was their loss, Wapple.
Will you take it easy?
You're right. Geniuses aren't often recognized in their time. People often find geniuses at their time weird or unattractive.
Right.
Muppet-like, that kind of thing. Do you know Dana got engaged, speaking of love?
No.
I did indeed, Janelle.
What?
Over the weekend.
Sorry
Dana?
to break your heart, Janelle.
Wow, dang it.
Dana, there's some pools going on in the building on how long this will last, or even if you get married.
Yeah, we got a lot of great texts. I want to thank all the brother and sisterhood for reaching out yesterday. I think my favorite one, though, was somebody, I wish I could remember the name. They said, hey, Dana, this time around, make sure she gets the boob job before you get divorced.
Oh, yes. You'll have to explain that for folks who haven't heard that story.
So the story goes, I was married once, and I think with Josh, what you would classify as about 6 minutes after the divorce was finalized, my ex-wife went out and got a boob job.
Yeah, definitely the sun had not risen on the next day.
She made those appointments pretty fast.
Yeah.
Post-marital bolt-ons.
Mm-hmm.
I like Janelle's reaction, by the way. Hey, did you know Dana got engaged? No.
He wasn't even going to tell us. He announced it on social media, but said nothing to us.
Oh.
Nothing.
He's an odd dude.
I was going to bring it up on Friday, but there was a little thing going on, a little celebration afterwards. It didn't quite feel right making it about myself after the 25th anniversary show of the Half-Assed Morning.
Why, we would have. Yeah, we would have.
By the way.
Yeah, Dana's all engaged now.
Well, congrats, Dana.
Well,
I'm happy for you.
And so far, the consensus is under a year if it even happens in the first place.
I got to be honest with you. That would be a lot of fun. That would be a lot of fun.
I mean, it would be kind of keeping tradition with this show.
That's true. That is true.
My first one not lasting, Nick's, Ashley's first one not lasting.
Piano Mover Jesus has texted the program, and he says he and his old lady have a long-standing tradition of going to Taco John's for dinner on Valentine's Day.
That's great. We do Chipotle. My wife and I's first date, yes, I'm classy, took her to Chipotle.
That's a good move, dude.
And so, yeah, that's kind of our thing now.
I think Papa Murphy's makes a heart-shaped pizza.
Hell yeah, they do. That's my favorite pizza.
A couple different pizza places do.
I love Papa Murphy's.
Yeah, and then they do a little jack-o'-lantern for Halloween.
I
They sure
like
do.
that one.
Hey, you're not telling me something I don't already know, homie. Yeah, we did that for. We got some pizza from there for the Super Bowl. Love it. They do a good
did
job.
they make it into a football?
Oh, for Christ's sake!
They did not.
Jesus,
Missed our opportunity.
sit here and talk about. We're
marketing
going to talk about pizza shapes for the rest of the.
Hell yeah!
So back to bad breakups. Anyone?
Luckily, no.
I had one. Anyone else? Bad
I
breakup.
don't think any of mine have been fantastic.
No.
I guess maybe the ones in middle school that didn't really count.
Well, that doesn't.
But no, every serious relationship I've been in, it usually ends in a complete train wreck, dumpster fire.
That's not good.
Block everybody on Facebook, block the family, throw everything away, just completely wipe them out.
I've been very lucky. I have not had one. And I would not feel odd running into any ex-girlfriend or anything. I hope they feel the same. I guess I don't know. I hope they wouldn't categorize any breakup as a bad one.
You ever have a bad one, Janelle?
Never. I am Josh. We are twins.
Yes.
Oftentimes it does seem that way.
Yes.
Some folks have been talking about their bad breakups. Well, some of them are, I guess I shouldn't say so, bad. Certainly not great. Some of them came off kind of funny. Some of them are really ridiculous because it goes way back to school days. Like Ashley was talking about her junior high boyfriends and whatnot. Some of these go way back to school days. Funny/sad, maybe possibly you'd say bad ways people have been dumped. Bad breakup. Middle school. His friend walked up to me and said, your boyfriend wants to break up with you because he thinks your braces make you ugly.
I don't think he had to throw that in there.
God, kids are so awful.
Wow.
Well, no, it's just because you're ugly, that's all.
What'd you have to go and get braces for?
I bet that doesn't still stick with her.
Well, she says I was devastated at the time, but now it's hilarious.
Oh, okay.
I mean, come on, that's funny.
And also,
That's-
she has beautiful teeth. So screw him.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude won't walk up on his own and break up with her. He sends his friend over.
That was the move back in the day.
That happened to me.
Well, certainly in grade school. I'm surprised that this came from middle school. By that point, we had balls enough to do our breaking up and asking out on our own.
I dumped on a voicemail in middle school.
In middle school?
Yeah.
On a voicemail?
Yeah. I wish I still had it.
Back in our day, it was fax. People would have to fax us.
Just a broken heart.
Dude's friend walks up and breaks up for him and says he thinks your braces make you look ugly.
That is so terrible.
All right, let's see. What else do I have here? Young kid stuff. I got another young kid one. This one's just cold as ice. A lady says, my husband left me one week right after our 25th anniversary. Left me for another woman. Left me by text. 25 years. Jeez. And he sent a text. His reason for dumping her. He said he deserved to be able to have romantic walks on the beach. Here's something you should know. The lady closes out with this. Here's something you should know. I am in a wheelchair.
Oh, that is so brutal.
No.
What?
No.
What? Dude.
Boy, sometimes I'll ask my wife, I'll beg her to make phone calls I don't want to make. Like, just silly stuff like, do you mind just setting up a doctor's appointment for me or something? So if I was ever going to break up to her or with her on the phone, I'd have to ask her to make the call. I don't have the courage to do it myself.
I had a buddy. I always thought this was brutal. He was dating this girl for like 8 years, and he said when they broke up, she said that she was going to, the original plan, because they lived together, was going to be to leave him a letter. I was like, who does that? And also,
the Dear John letter.
They're like 25, 26 years old. Like, how pathetic.
So what's appropriate for you? Would a text be appropriate? I know, you like to communicate primarily through text. That's fair to say, right?
Yeah. No, I'd say it has to be face-to-face.
So not even over the phone.
Yeah.
You face-to-face.
But then again, it depends how long it's been, if it's actually, super serious or not.
Now, here's some kid stuff here, and this is hilarious. 12 or 13 years old. Young gal was dating a guy in the neighborhood. One summer afternoon, he rode his bike by my house with a different girl from the neighborhood riding on his bike pegs, and he yelled, "Yeah, she's my girlfriend now."
Ching, 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 ching.
That gets cool.
He didn't stop. He just rode by. He's got his new piece standing on the pegs. That's my girlfriend now.
Yeah, like he's passing by in his Corvette convertible or something.
You prick. That's good stuff.
I just remember I had a buddy in college he found out that his girlfriend was breaking up with him because she updated her Facebook status to say single.
Oh, yeah, it's weird. You've heard that before, right? Didn't that happen to you, Wapple? I thought there was something. Didn't you have a girlfriend do the same to you?
Can you explain that one more time?
So on Facebook, you can put, I'm in a relationship with, blah, 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 add that person. And then he went and checked Facebook and it said, Sally Sue has updated her Facebook relationship status to single. And he goes,
single.
I guess that's that then.
That hurts.
Okay, Wapple, did that happen to you?
No, it was even worse. She went on Snapchat and made a Facebook story saying she was taking new applications for a new boyfriend.
You should have filled one out, Waffle.
I filled one out.
And it was when we were going to a wrestling show that night.
Yeah, were you guys out to dinner?
We were out on a
And you took her to a place that none of us could afford, right? Wasn't it a fancy place? I thought you said
it was the Depot.
Okay, for some reason I thought it was fancy. But yeah, that's pretty cold-blooded.
Mm-hmm.
I got a funny breakup story. When my folks divorced in 1984, 3, whatever it was. And then, of course, they got remarried in 98, 99. But when they originally divorced in 84, one of my mom's brothers hadn't heard about it yet. The word hadn't passed yet that my folks had split up. And my uncle calls my dad to ask him to be the godfather of his new baby. I think that's how it played out. So my uncle calls my dad. My mom's sister calls my dad. My mom's brother, calls my dad and says, hey, got a new baby and I want you to be the godfather. My dad said, there's some news I should pass on your way that might change your mind. My uncle said, I didn't know. Breakups. We're rapping about breakups here on the program with Janel Klein.
KARE 11's Janel Klein.
This is the 93X Half-Assed Morning Show.
That's right. Got Janel Klein here in the studio. We got a few minutes left in today's program. We've been talking about breakups, getting dumped flat on your ass. Or maybe you dumped somebody flat on their ass. And maybe they had it coming, but maybe they didn't, and you're just cold-blooded like that. Getting dumped.
What do you think of this text? This person dated a girl steady in high school, but then it was on and off again after high school.
Sure.
He ended up staying with, that's it, we're done. Got a new girlfriend, dated for 3 years, then they got engaged. Then all of a sudden she got a text from the high school girlfriend asking if it was really over between them.
Oh, no.
3 years later.
Let it go, honey, let it go.
Oh, I can top that. I can. But it's kind of frightening. The story really is. It's kind of frightening. I know a dude who been divorced for 25 years, 20 years, something like that. Called his ex-wife on the telephone. She answers. Hello? And he says, yeah, we gotta work this out. We gotta do something. We gotta work out our problems. And she says, who is this? It was her husband from 20 years ago.
That's not right.
We gotta talk. We gotta try to work this out.
I'd be scared. I'd be trying to figure out how to get a restraining order.
Janelle, you've done the breaking up, haven't you? Because what guy would have the balls to throw you out?
Nobody.
True.
You've done the breaking up.
I don't know if I call it that. I think it's just more like you both know it's just not gonna.
Yeah.
It's not gonna last.
That's how it might have been. It just kind of, we both knew. Nobody was surprised.
There's no hard
fizzled
feelings.
out.
Yeah, it's just like
Should we, just for a joke, should we call my ex-wife?
Whatever happened between us?
We won't tell her that we're on the radio, and I'll just say, hey, what's up? What's going on between us, you know?
What if she was like down though?
Yeah.
She's like, I've missed you too. I've thought about you every day for the last 20 years.
That would backfire, wouldn't it?
Some people feel like they have the one that got away, and so that's where this stuff happens, I think. Like, no matter what the other person is doing, they think there's always a chance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose that would suck if you really felt that way.
Yeah.
Crazy people. All right, here are some text messages that came in. I knew the brother and sister who would have some good, quick stories on getting dumped or dumping somebody, bad breakup. One of our lady listeners says, one guy broke up with me before we were on our way to a comedy show. They had a date at the comedy show. Guy breaks up with her, but he still wanted to go to the show. And he was wondering why I was crying the entire time.
Oh my God.
You still agreed to go see a comedy show?
Yeah, I probably would have passed on
when the guy
Why would he do that on the way?
Yeah, it's weird.
I'm going to guess this guy was 17 years old or something. You know what I mean? He just doesn't even understand the impact of what he's doing.
Yeah.
This person says, I was 22. My girlfriend of 3 years broke up with me on my birthday and wrote it on my birthday card. WTF.
Oh, yay! Happy birthday!
Oh.
I'm leaving.
Oh.
Happy birthday to the guy who had a girlfriend up until a few minutes ago. Happy birthday to the guy who had a girlfriend up until a few minutes ago. Here's a listener. Broken-hearted pimp slap Jesus.
Oh.
He had a girlfriend, but she left him for one of his friends. And then they moved to Mexico.
Oof.
And that's the end of the story.
Double D Jesus dated inside the friend group and got engaged. So now she gets to see the ex-fiance at all their friends' occasions. Him, my boyfriend, and I are cordial, but the ex-fiance, the wife of the ex-fiance calls her the one that shall not be named. Apparently they're not fans of each other. I've known people like that where we're never going to use that name again.
Yeah, I can be like that.
Yes, you are the one that would play that type of game.
But the words I use to substitute aren't that friendly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Navy police Jesus said a few years ago he had to break up with a girl because when he got back from being overseas for 14 months, she was 8 months pregnant.
Oh man. It's like a Lifetime movie.
My God.
That's treason.
Agreed.
You can't do that.
Did you hear what happened to super fat 7XL Jesus? Anyone hear this yet?
No.
All right. Janelle, are you cleaning the floor of the studio? What are you doing?
Looking for something.
That's
I dropped something.
2 or 3 times I look over and Janelle's milling around on the floor.
She lost a contact or something.
Did you drop? Are you all right?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
And get Wapple to get down on his. Wapple will do
crawl
little
around.
dirty chores for you if you ask him to. Super fat 7XL Jesus. Okay, he had a girlfriend. By God, he did. Until her husband called him to tell him that the two of them wouldn't be seeing each other anymore.
Oh man.
Wow.
What a
Absolutely,
crappy
sir.
situation.
She had a husband all the while, or she upped and got married maybe suddenly to another man, but either way, the guy calls him on the, hey, is this super fat 7XL Jesus? By damn it is, you will not be seeing my wife anymore. You're what? Who is this?
This person tells me his son's mother left him and married his brother.
Son, I can see, I got to do that in my head. Son's brother, you got to do it again.
So the woman he has a son with married his brother.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, I know a family who did that. A gal I was dating, one of her uncles was married to this gal, and they divorced, and she moved on and married his brother, being my girlfriend at the time's other uncle. You follow that? Those are so tough to follow.
Christmas would be so awkward.
A friend of mine.
But you know what, Wapple? I was around them when she was with the first uncle and the second uncle, and it seemed like they were all fairly cool with the whole setup.
All right.
Yeah, I had a buddy who's very similar. It was his aunt and uncle got divorced. His other aunt and uncle got divorced, and then they hooked up with each other's spouses. And
My
it was
best friend's girlfriend.
Yeah. And he said it was super cordial. Rectal Larson Jesus was in a polyamorous relationship, but his ex never told him during that time.
Oh, no. All right, I got one more from the brother and sisterhood. I guess it's not going to shock anybody now. We've just been talking about these types of things. Someone broke up with their significant other, and then that significant other started dating his mom. Man. Oh,
people have been hurt.
I actually wasn't done yet. What else do I have here? Guy brings his college girlfriend over to the house because he wants to show her his favorite movie, Fight Club. Never saw it.
Oh, it's great.
So dude brings his girlfriend over to watch Fight Club. She hated it, and he was so upset because this was his favorite movie that he dumped her.
If I had to do that with some of my favorite movies, I would die alone.
What did she say here? I didn't get it, the movie. He got so angry he dumped me. He dumped me over a stupid Brad Pitt movie.
Yeah, that's a level of fandom that's a tad concerning.
Yeah.
Here's another breakup. I'm sorry I made it seem like I was all done, but I had a couple more. Picture this. You're at the ball game. Here comes the kiss cam. You look up at the Jumbotron and your significant other is kissing somebody else.
Oh, God.
That sucks.
That is one of my favorite memories around here, where we had a salesperson who, I don't know, started working here the previous week, takes a sick day, goes to a Twins game and posts all kinds of pictures on social media, and she's connected with her bosses and coworkers.
Oh,
Like,
my
look how
God.
much fun I'm having. And
That was incredible.
That was so good. And I saw some of the photos, and she did look like she was having a blast.
Yeah, I hope it was worth it.
She calls the boss. Oh, God, I'm so sick.
No way,
I can't cover.
Can't even get out of bed.
3 hours later, she's got a tall beer in her hand.
Did she get fired?
Well, she was. I guess I can't say for sure that she got fired. I had heard that's the case,
Yeah.
but she didn't last very long.
Okay.
So I don't know if that was her that just decided. Like, I think if it was me and I realized, oh my God, I'm Facebook friends with my boss, I just wouldn't come back.
Right,
I'd
yeah.
just send him a text. Sorry.
Some people, I
wasn't made for this.
Awesome.
That was good.
And it's fun to be around people like that.
Thank you, Janelle, for coming
Thanks,
in.
you guys.
Yeah,
Great
we
to
miss
see
you.
you.
Welcome home, Jungle Jane.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're a sight for sore eyes. Right now on the Luther Bloomington Kia text line, text the word Avenger to 651-989-9393. That gets you a shot to win club-level tickets to Monster Jam Saturday and Sunday at U.S. Bank Stadium, furnished by our friends over there at Feld Entertainment. Corporate Pilot Jesus text in, let us know his dog and buddy Denver passed yesterday. 14 years old. He was a good boy. We're sorry for your loss. I'm sure this is a real tough time. I know how hard that is. We all do. Bug-Eye Wagon Jesus text in a shout-out to his wife, Tony's Flowers Jesus, and all the other florists out there putting in crazy hours this week. 1 day left, he says. You're almost there. Boner Grower Jesus text in a happy birthday to her husband and hopes the 12-hour night shift isn't too miserable. Happy birthday to Tammy from Ski-Doo 600 Jesus, and happy birthday to Single Father Jesus.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show. 93.
The 93X Half-Assed Morning Show podcast is sponsored by Standard Heating and Air Conditioning. New episodes drop each weekday. If your podcast platform has ratings, go ahead and give us 5 stars and maybe give our enemies 1. Thanks, and here's a word from our sponsor.
Standard Heating is having their 94-year celebration. They have special offers just for you this February. Whether you need a new furnace or a tune-up, they have something special for everyone. Visit standardheating.com to save today.